Welcome. Hey, everybody. You mod for another channel, so you will be on replay. Just me? All right. How's it going, everybody? I'm like a 2-year-old who did my makeup today, so it's not looking too great. Let me fix this too. Long time no see. If anybody's in here, I don't even know. And it's okay if not. At this point, I wouldn't even mind talking to myself. But, right. Just waiting to see. This is weird. I don't see anybody. What the hell? And I mean, it's just weird. Just waiting. Well, I cannot do eyeliner. Anyways, let me do this. Let me do a little bit of this. How about that? And then I don't have to worry about it. Right? Just welcome in. If you can hear me, if anybody, it says 17 people. So I just don't see you. So I have to trust. I guess I have to trust. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay. Hey, KK. Present for roll call. Hey, Bewitched. Okay, good. Thank you. Somebody can hear me. Michelle Ilm, we are here. Awesome. Thank you. I'm just glad to see you guys. It's been a long road. And I thought I was out of my my little funk or whatever the hell that is. No, I was not. Usually after like one round, and I say one round, meaning like sleep. Just sleep, and I sit there and try to figure out what it is. Anyways, while I'm sleeping. I mean, I don't know. I've just been in a funky ass mood, and it ain't good for nobody. I'm trying to I'm trying to fix my eyeliner. Can't talk when I do it. Okay. I guess that'll do. Allegedly, I don't know. I might still turn the camera off because I was in the dark. I was in here and all I had was these black light. I was like trying, Let's see. It's better than it was. Hey, Holly, and hey, Chris. How are y'all? I'm glad you're here. Thank you for being here. So, what y'all know? Oh, and if let me just hurry and get this out the way so I don't forget about it. I made this. Okay, it's not doing the GIF. It's supposed to move and stuff, but I was going to show that to Trish Web Sleuth to this Chad with 722 tattooed on his arm. Probably fake tattoo because, he's Mormon. And the Not So End of the World again. And seems like I loaded up the wrong one because this year-end party is supposed to be over here by this Jesus. But anyways, yeah. And he loves raccoons, and the 4 blood moons are behind him, and just all the things. All the things. I covered up the weapon there. Anyways, see what I do when I'm depressed? Do weird stuff. So, anyways. Hey, Language, how are you? It's been so long since I've seen you. I have some curlies right here today. I'm like, really? Is this what we're doing? Is this what we're doing? Okie doke. So I'll tuck it behind my ear. No, I hope not. She better not be in damn court today. God dang. If so, we made it. I'm on time. No, this is, everybody else has given their take of her latest filing. which is, motion for a new trial because she is a hooker. I mean, hookers want new trials. That's what I've come to conclude. How the hell okay. So instead of reading, the motion, because you can find it on Facebook. I'll even give you the link. Let me do it now while I'm sitting here talking about it. Watch. I can't find it readily. Hold on. Let's see. Okay, there it is. I'm like, where is it at? I got this from Facebook, and it's from Nate Eaton on Facebook. So there's the link if you want to go and read them and weep. She does miss the spotlight. Appeal, appeal, appeal. Too bad it's downhill, downhill, downhill. If you get it. Uphill, you get it. Anyways. Whew. Yeah. I miss Lori's Botox. How many of you miss Lori's Botox? Okay. She's like, I have no one to talk, okay? Because I kind of fixed my eyeliner, okay? I got more wrinkles, than Carter has liver pills. But here we are. Here we are. She gave them to me. Oh my God. I remember learning, because I didn't even look at myself. I was so immersed in this stuff. So immersed that I didn't have time for any of that. Started taking showers instead of, baths, and I'd have my phone with me, just because I was always, doing the Lord's work. I'm just kidding. I was always, wanting to do something, trying to do something, trying to hear something, trying to learn something, trying to make use of my time, but that really is quiet time that you really should take for yourself. So, there's that. But anyways, can't go back and change it. So you don't look anything like, well, she's not my real aunt. She's my aunt by marriage and then by murder. I guess. I don't know. You learning from me. I don't know what y'all learned. That blows my mind. I'm like, what? I mean, just besides bullshit, just talking, I thought that was something in my hair. Okay. Sorry. I haven't seen myself in since the last time I came on here. I don't even remember when that was. I don't know. Oh, I think on Web Sleuths with Joe and Megan. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. And I know what I want to do. I know what I want to cover. I've been trying to do it all. I've been orbiting. But then she always has a hearing come up. She has a damn trial, and then there's always been another trial after that. Well, there's not another trial, at least not yet. I've got none but time. I'm poor. I have nothing but time. So, I'll wait them out. But anyways, I've got a lot that I feel like I want to cover, that I half-ass covered, that I barely sprinkled in. You're probably like, what is this crazy woman talking about? But it's just the way my mind works, and I can't help it. And so no matter what, I was still making a video record. Here I can come back to it. There's only 800 and whatever, 60 more that I can go back and look at over since 2021, October of 2021. So, we've been working our butts off. We've been showing up. We've been sweating her out, waiting her out, and we got there. We got the bitch. We got the bitch again. We'll get the bitch again. We'll get all the bitches. That's just in my DNA. Maybe she skipped that page. I don't know. But, hey, I'm here. I'm loyal. I'm very loyal. I might be late. I might be, just out of it or whatever, but I'm here. I'll be here. I'm watching. If not, I'm still watching. But there's just things that there's the Bishop Glenn Pace memo that I think this all spawns from. At least the beliefs and the 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 rampage, like the not rampage, well, that too, but the how it runs rampant in so many people and their belief system. Okay, let's just check your belief system. Okay, it's just like anything else. If it's true, then it'll stand up. It'll hold up. I'm just kidding. I can't make anybody check their beliefs, but you know, I've had to check my own in all this. I've had to be like, "Oh, yeah, that was kind of pagan." Ooh, like I'm not freaking exempt from this. I'm not. I don't try to be. But I guess I expect other people to do what I do, and that ain't happening. So, hey sis. Hey Diane. Hey Jill. Yeah. Can you say that? Can you just sit here and type that over and over again? Oh my God, yes. It's crazy. And not only that, but the magic, the black magic shit. I'm like, the lesser key of Solomon, the hibbity bibbity boo. I mean, the astral projection. These women were wild over astral projection. Brandon testified to it. Melanie, that's all she would talk about. Lori, she said Charles were blocking her gifts. Her gifts were dun 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 astral projecting. Portaling. That's portaling in their terms. That's what's going on. It's pretty deep. And I mean, whatever. People can say that they don't, we don't believe like that. And I'm like, are you sure? Or because you're really quick to say we don't believe like that. You don't even know what we're talking about. How do you even know? Because it's like, what's so different? Really, what is so different? And I mean, please point those out. If you are a believing member, tell me where it's different. Show me where it's different. I want to learn. I'm ready to get down to this. I've been ready to get down to this, but like I said, now all I'll have is time. Time. Watching rocks and speaking gibberish. Yeah. Is it a white salamander rock? Just kidding. Hey, girl. Hey. Sorry. Here. I haven't been on here. So, I haven't really been talking. So my voice is cracking. Yeah. From Jesus's lips to Jeff's what? Right? Ugh. Good morning, Mimi of 8. Glad you're here. I'm one-eyed. One-eyed. I used to have this joke, but you wouldn't understand it unless you lived where I live. I'm like, you got one eye in Westlake and one eye in Sulphur. That's if you lived in Lake Charles. Anyways, you can fill in the blank on whatever cities you live in and whatever two towns are nearby. Anyways. Hey, Trey. Good morning. How are you? How's your mom? I'm sorry. I don't even know. I'm sitting here thinking, have I ever asked that? I'm so sorry if I haven't. Shame on me. Yeah, I'm just really enjoying this right now. Have you seen the movie Precious? Oh yeah. Girl, you asking me if I've seen the movie Precious. My name is Kresha, and so my uncle Alvin died without ever saying my name right. He would never say Kresha. He would say Precious. And then when that movie came out, I was like, oh, hell no. No. Uncle Alvin. Now Lori Daybell has her degree. She thinks she knows everything. Yeah. Don't she? She is so smart. She's so damn smart. Oh my God. She good. I live next door to her. Keep her on her toes. Right. Ask her if I can borrow her car. Oh my God. She probably went nuts with me and Nikki always asking if we could borrow her car. I was a better driver, by the way. I ain't got no reason to lie. So I was like, I'm older and I'm a better driver. I've went through driver's ed. What have you gone through, Nikki? You know, I'm talking about my cousin. Oh, well, tell her I said hi. And now Jesus is talking. Yeah, Jesus. It's the wrong Jesus. Okay. It's the wrong Jesus. What movie was that on? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's like 6 pound, 8 ounce baby Jesus. And they do the racetrack. Oh my God. Ricky Bobby, Ricky Bobby. Anyways. Or is it there's another movie and he's like, they killed the wrong son or something like that. I know. I'm never appropriate. You know that. You signed up for it. So it's like you got the wrong Jesus. You got the wrong Jesus. Your Jesus is upside down. She chose a murder cult, right? Did she choose it or is she like the leader of it? I just wanted to know. Like the chicken before the egg. Talladega Nights. Thank you, Holly. I appreciate that. Hey, Cindy. Good morning to you too. You grew up in Lake Charles? Wow. I have so many questions. I'm like, Southside? Where'd you go to school? If you want to tell. If not, that's okay. Are you about my age? Higher? Lower? More my mom's age? In the middle? Do you know me? What's your favorite color? Did you go to Lagrange? Excuse me. Well, Trey, I mean, she had a standard, okay? We're, shifting them gears. I probably owe her an Uber or two by now, but I kept guessing it. Lagrange? What your mama like? LG, right? Don't hold it against me, except this is on record. I did that. 59 here. Bring it on, sister. Bring it on. Okay. Time is nothing. I mean, age is nothing but time. My mama used to tell me, even clothes get old. Wait, even jeans get old, but even they come back into style. Like, oh Lord. She's crazy. Hey girl, how you been? I miss y'all. Can you tell? Totally has the wrong Jesus, but I'm fine with her not going to the pearly gates. Well, it'll be a black pearl. It'll be the black pearly gates. I don't know. They are into some wicked shit, man. I've never why would I know all these weird things? Okay. Because I'm researching Lori and Chad. That's why. And I ain't got I have no boundaries. None. I don't have to. I mean, I follow the evidence, of course. What good does it do to force something to fit into the story? Nothing. So I'm not about that. But I'm like, that sounds really, really close to what they're doing. And since they're not very, forthcoming at all, they're more convoluted and just like, oh, let's just start. Literally, they're conjuring the pot. Okay. And it's not gumbo. Good morning, girl. What you doing? I hope I'm making you laugh. Don't spit your coffee out. Black raw iron. Iron cell. Yep. Clank, clank. Let me see if I can easily pull this up. We'll try. But I sometimes watch different things. Can you watch different things? Can you believe it? Okay, hold on. And again, I've got to talk to this lady. I know what she says is weird. I'm right. I get it. I'm like, how does all this happen? How does all this happen right in front of us? Like, I don't get it. Okay. But hear her out. I am not discounting anybody's experience. It's just like, you got to open your mind. Not like Lori and Chad, but you just got to open it.
Yeah. Maybe touch on one or two things that you were saying as you were going along. So
here's a question.
How do they decide, and who decides if these infants have no soul?
You have the mothers as well as some of your grand high priest or priestesses. And you have those specifically, like that's part of their job, is to see if that child has a soul or not, and to declare if that child has a soul or not.
That sounds a bit like what was going on with this Chad. What was this Mormon church case that we were talking about not too long ago? Lori Daybell and Chad, whatever, where they were deciding the people that were killed, that they killed or they took out, what level soul they were on. And he was kind of making that call because he was now part of the chosen 144,000 that has to make that call. So I see that here again. So these guys get to decide whether, or these women get to decide what kids have a soul or not. What do they use? Like a soul barometer? What, like a compass? How do they decide?
They simply look into the eyes.
They look into the eyes and then they decide, because they generally soulless, right? So they're probably going to take out the ones with souls, right? And say the ones with souls are soulless.
Yeah.
Because if you as a soulless being, because I'm sorry, when you are doing that to another being, you do not have God's soul alive and active in your body. You've got some kind of hitchhiker that's taken over you.
I think it's a way of binding. They bind the soul when they make that declaration. Keeping that person from the fully expressing themselves through their spirit and their body together. So I think it's a way of binding the soul when they do that. In
other words, total narcissistic manipulation at the ultimate degree.
Right. Well, the whole purpose behind it is so that, they believe they have the authority to choose, who lives and who dies.
Right. Of course they do. How silly of me.
Yeah.
I forgot. Sorry.
They really don't. That's God's job. But hey.
Oh, man.
They believe that they have that right,
Okay. So going back to what you were talking about in these
Yeah. So I was like, oh, I mean, I love when my ears are like, bing, they perk up whenever I hear, especially Chad and Lori's names come up. I need to talk to Jessie. I've been wanting to. I remember I was going to write her. I actually, was in one of their live streams, Aquarius Rising Africa. Now, because I screen recorded this, I don't have this right here on hand. Let me see. Allegedly. Okay. How about iPhone? Let's see. I want to be able to share it, damn it. Oh, hell, I'd be faster just typing it. I always get it's a hard time with the name. Aquarius. See, I have to go back and look. Rising Africa. There's a lot more things that kind of click in for me, but I'm just trying not to weird you out too much. Just here, have some small doses. Here we go. All right, now I have the channel. Copy. Wow. Without too much of a hiccup. And Aquarius Rising. Oop. That and my friend Sue Ellen, she knows exactly what I look for. She looks for it too. And so she'll, hey, if you need it, here, might want to take a look at this or whatever. And yep, that's how I do. That's my research. It's part of it. So there's this. And I put it in the chat too, if you want to go check it out. Now the video, crap. The video is called, I don't know. I want to say it's this one. Oh, Lord. That's about where it was.
The portals into these underground places. Everything is a freaking portal.
making us believe that there's a separation between the physical and the spiritual world.
That's the trick, you know, and you will then
hold on, skipping forward.
It will continue to do that.
Yeah.
Long silence.
It's crazy. I mean, my mind is out the Brandon,
the Branson
Brandon,
and the
whatever.
I think this is the one I was talking about, but if not, I'm sorry. You know, I'm doing the best I can. Here's the actual, maybe it should be. I was trying to skip forward to find out. Anyways. Yeah, I know. I've been listening with him, actually. Thank God, right? I wanted to do this a long time ago. Because you know me, I'm like a plunger. I bring up old shit all the live long day. And I was just like, man, with everything else going on, and I shouldn't have done that. I should have just followed my heart. But I'm glad he is doing it. I'm glad he's got a lot of people who are supporting him through it. It's hard. I remember, Larry and Mom showed up in chat. Ray, Brandon, I'm just like, all right, that's so good. That's so good. I'm so glad. But I was very taken back, because he hadn't seen it. Either Charles. I don't blame him. I'm not throwing shade. I'm just like, whoa, he just was catching the headlines, I guess. And I mean, I get it. Oh my God. The kid he was scared of trash bags, of black trash bags. And I mean, come on, that's real. That is real and legit. They really helped us during the hurricane. The Mennonites, I'm just saying, they always had really good, dependable food. Lots of vegetables. No, really, like they did help us a lot. My relatives are like I'm talking about the Mennonites. Very strict, all farmers here in the middle of Kansas. You know what Larry told me is, what did he say? He said the one thing holding the wind back is a clothesline. That's what he told me one time. I'm like, you're a nerd. He's the same person as like, it was so quiet you could hear a spider cough. And I'm like, have you ever just sat there and just thought about a spider coughing in the corner or wherever? I mean, your spider can be anywhere. I'm like, you're freaking hilarious. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's good and bad. That's good and bad. Where I see, I mean, I because I reflect on all this, because I feel like I've been just like plowing the fields, with nothing but Chad Lori crap. Straight, day in, day out, watching it, making myself watch it, like forcing myself, It's like I can kind of turn it off. I don't know. I don't know if that's good or not. I don't know if I even actually do. But yeah, and now I'm the first one to tell you that my ass thought I could sit there and look at the day two of Lori's trial, 2023. Mom didn't show up because, and I knew this too. The victim's advocate was like, hey, we're going to be showing autopsy pictures tomorrow. And I'm like, okay, yeah, Mom, you stay home. You and Brandon, y'all go have brunch. It was just me and the boys, right? Me, Larry, and Uncle Jerry. And we went there, and I was just like, oh yeah, I got this. And then I did not got this. I did not have this at all. And you can't make any sudden moves. You can't make any noise. You can't disrupt the courtroom. I was looking at the hooker, going just, I don't know. I was just, so many things go in my head. It's like every sense I have is turned all the way on and all the way up. And that wears my ass out. It really does. Plus I was in a foreign place. Plus I had a moderator who went effing rogue on me. Okay. My other moderators can tell you. While I was on that trip, decided to pull a Lori and just silently strip me from things and watch. So I'm told. Yeah, so it was a very crazy fucking time. It was very crazy. But we all pulled together and made the best of it, you know. It is what it is. People are going to take advantage of you. Just, you know, maybe not whenever, if you're going to help a member, a family member of a victims, multiple victims. Okay. I don't care if it's freaking, like Lori's favorite, phrase is like high profile. I don't give a shit. It could be no profile. It could be low. No, don't do that shit. Don't sit there and be like, oh, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you. I'm like, I don't like to ask for help. Right. So it took everything I had to just be like, okay, here, you know, I don't know how to tell you to help me. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, you know? And, yeah, that really hurt. It hurt a lot. Still does. Because it's just like, wow. You know? Anyways, it could have been worse. It could have been worse. Yeah. Yeah. So me and the rest of the mods, we all talked. We were like, oh, and what, you know, we were having to piece things together and figure out what the hell was going on. And, yeah, that was crazy. Maybe I'll share that in the members only or something. I've been wanting to get it off my damn chest. Oh, Lord. Still hangs around too sometimes. It's a little freaking scary. Yeah. Just hearing it does. Look, I jumped about Uncle Charles over this whatever depression sleep this past week. It is wild. Pretty wild. Look. Yeah, total betrayal. Thank you. I appreciate your prayers. Thank you. Yeah, betrayal. Yeah, just another one. You know, I'm collecting them. It's just like that was really minimal compared to what was going on. You know, I mean, gearing up for that to travel. I don't know all the things. Jason was staying here, and then I mean, he had a thoracotomy at that point and a stroke. So, I mean, it was a big gamble. I went up there with no vehicle. Okay. I'm very thankful and grateful for the amazing, beautiful human who made it to where I didn't have to worry about flights or lodging whatsoever. I mean, I can't even, I don't even know what to say. Yeah. I mean, most people have like beautiful words, and I'm just like, thank you. You know, that's all you can say is thank you. But I feel like I don't do it enough. Like, I feel like I need to continue saying thank you. And I mean, I haven't tried lately, so shame. Anyways, but I mean, that was just so special of her to do that. And for people who do that and don't want recognition, don't at all, you know. I think about her all the time. Yeah. Yeah, I saw this compartmentalizing thing. I'm way up here. Yeah, I think that compartmentalizing, I used to think like it's like a protection. Like it's because there were things that I was learning along the way, you know, when the kids were still missing. And in my gut, I was having dreams. I was like, all the things were like, no, they're reunited, you know, and still it's like I ignored them the best I could. Because you still have hope. Like, I hope I'm wrong. I hope that's not true. I mean, it's just a dream, you know, it's not real proof. It's not evidence, you know, I mean, I want to know. But you do. And I think your brain does protect you. I know at some point, there were some points, and this was after the kids were found, like, I got to a point where it was really kind of scary, you know, and I don't even know how to really describe it, but there were just certain things, you know, because all the things that happened all at one time, just like, holy shit, and it's a blur. It's a blur. But like the mention of some things, and I mean, and that wasn't me. I'm like, I go in, I bring hip boots. I'm gonna camp out, like I'm gonna go and do it so my parents don't have to. I'm gonna go and do it because I'm tough, right? I was always raised to be tough. Turn the other cheek. Turn the other cheek. My cheeks are freaking big. Okay, just kidding. You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, they kind of are. Even when I was skinny, though, I had really high cheekbones, and I always thought I was fat because of my cheeks. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. But it got to where like certain things, and I would just be like, oh, I don't know if I can. Like it kind of like it hurt, but without physical pain. But it was just like I don't think I can take that. Anyways, kind of get, I guess, shell shocked or that day in trial, and I'm watching it with you guys. I want to say it was day 3, allegedly, for Brandon's. That damn shot went off, and I'm telling you, I shed my skin because I was out. I was also an astral traveler. Okay, outer body experience, and I had to, I snapped right back in, and I was just like, "What the hell?" And I'm just like typing, trying to, exert the energy that I had just experienced. And that was a lot. And I mean, I have nothing to do with gunshots. I had none, not that I know of, but I just was not expecting it. Brandon was right there in the courtroom. And I'm just like, I hope he's okay. And just me. And they played it again. Well, I backed up. I was like, "Oh, no." And there were some of you who it bothered too, but no, I'm like, but I have a huge Polk audio. It's a sound bar, okay, straight up right here. So it was. Pow. I'm like, oh my god, poor thing. I'm surprised Alex wasn't damn deaf, or Brandon, okay, or the damn neighbors for that matter. Oh, I'm glad he lived through it. And again, it's not even my trauma, not that. But I did think about Uncle Charles for some reason. I mean, I guess because the gunshots. But anyways, but you got to get through it to get to it. What really helps you is to get through depression. Me too. But well, yeah. So this time it's been like 3 rounds, if you will. I don't know. I just don't know where to dig in, but I have so many things to talk about. But I don't know. It's like it's final. But I mean, that's if I let her, Lori, dictate my work. What became my mission? What I didn't even ask for it. I didn't go looking, well, I need a new hobby. It was nothing. I really miss working with my hands and doing physical things and making things, and putting things together and artistic things, I miss that. I could have worked at a job all these 6 years, I took advantage. I'm not gonna lie. I took advantage of the opportunity at the time that presented itself, which was, you know, um, uh, COVID. Okay. So I had unemployment built up, and I showed it. I was like, "Oh, I don't mind if I do right now. I don't mind if I do that right now." And I did. And I mean, I was just like, "Okay, I can relax," And then that shit runs out. Okay, that runs out. Email you. I don't know give me your email. You email me. I suck at email. I do. Did I miss something you set up here? And it's like, where do I latch on? Like I've been following other cases too, but nothing in the besides Tim Ballard, besides David oh my God. David Hamblin. Oh my God. That is horrible, y'all. And these people just keep getting off of it. Thank you. Yeah, none of us chose it, but they had to. Yep, they had to commit crimes, and boy, they did some really zingers. Yeah, picking up the pieces. It's the burden of living family members. You're left to shoulder the burden. I'm not saying. I mean, somewhat. Since it went down the way it did, I also look at it as an honor and not just a burden. It's a burden. This shouldn't have happened, but it did happen. And so here we are. And yeah, so it's like, yeah, they're worth it. I want to make sure. And I mean, I've seen this happen over and over and over again where it's like, I know for a fact, I've seen it, things be not righted. You can't right this wrong, right? But good can come from it, and good has come from it continuously. So it's like, I love witnessing their deaths not be in vain, because Lori and Chad, A-okay with it. They are like, zero effects. Remember that? Zero effects, my ass. You might want to wait and say zero effects, girl, after your ass gets sentenced for the next two. Okay. So anyways, I've got to call my counselor today, and it's been, I say my counselor's office. How about that? Like, I don't even know if I'm going to get to see her, but that's fine. I just need to kind of dig in. Apparently there's something there. And I mean, again, I'm also a middle-aged woman, okay, with restricted diet and exercise. Like, I have sat behind here and, because of Hooker, because it ain't her fault. It's my fault. But still, I've missed you too. I've missed y'all. I have. Anyways, I guess, we're only 42 minutes in. You're ready to get down to some of this. I know you've seen it. I know you've heard it. I know all the things. I have to. But, and we also, hold on, let me share this, and then let me share my, right? Look at that fine man. Not? Oh my gosh. Okay, Kresha K. Shit, get it together, girl. Whatever. Okay, so yeah, I was like, all right, go ahead, KPLC. 7 News. That's local, but we're going to watch that later. It's a fugitive drug trafficker wanted by Ecuador and the United States after his escape from prison has been arrested. So, goody. I haven't even seen it yet. And, oh Lord. Okay, so this is the analysis of Lori Daybell's motion for another new trial, right? Because okay, I just was thinking of this song and I was like, no, that don't go with it. So this was something I put in my description box. So, did Lori Daybell's Arizona trial violate her rights? I'm like, how can a trial violate your rights? So I say judge/trial. I don't know. The Doomsday Mom is making explosive claims in her pro per motion for new trial, filed just days ago on June 23rd, 2025. You want to hear a little insight? Her birthday is tomorrow. Oh, yeah. June 27th. Okay. Yep. On June 23rd, 2025. And so 9 a.m. Central Time today, we're going live to dissect every angle of this unexpected legal move. Is it really unexpected? I don't think so. Thank you, AI. Lori argues her trial was unfair, citing constitutional violations and contested evidence. What exactly is she claiming? And what are the legal grounds for a motion for a new trial in Arizona? Join us and me as we break down her specific arguments, analyze the timeline she's presenting, and speculate on the likelihood of this motion succeeding. Will the court grant her another shot? I don't think so. Or is this a calculated delay tactic before her July 25 sentencing? Is she a control freak? Yes, everybody hit the button. Everybody hit the damn button. Y'all, and I can show it also with Ruby Franke. Holy cow. Y'all, these are some controlling wenches. Okay, we'll just say wenches. Oh, look, I'm already veering off. Ruby Franke. Sentencing. Can I spell? Here, I'll show you. You better than I can tell you. Huh? Oh. Oh, this is like a freaking... I need the whole damn... Give me the damn sentencing. Not 9 shocking moments. Raw. There we go. Okay, well, watch. Ugh. I don't really know where to go.
No, Your Honor. Mr. Winward. Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning.
Sounds so low. Maybe my volume.
In my comments this morning, and in the comments my client wishes to make in a few minutes, we are not suggesting, nor are we asking that the court deviate from the stipulated sentence contained in the written plea agreement.
That this whole, and it's something that, I've noticed in some of my close ones. Okay. It's like they give permission to authorities, to the judge, to the court, to the parents, to everybody of what they are going to do when it's already going to happen anyways. That's what I'm saying. That's how much of a control freak this wench is.
I want the court to know that through introspection and reflection, Ruby Franke has become a serious student of her own actions.
Well, I hope not.
In the very early days of my involvement with Ruby, she was somewhat defensive, and she was still very much indoctrinated into a philosophy that was destructive. Fortunately, Ruby came to the stark realization of the errors in her thinking patterns and subsequent actions. To say that she was horrified by this realization would be to put it mildly.
She don't look horrified.
I have marveled at how quickly Ruby abandoned her defensive stance and moved toward her total acceptance of her actions.
She don't cry, Mr. Sir, because she straight up, was like, okay, basically, as long as Jody, my girlfriend, as long as she did worse than me, basically, and then she's trying to look like a little brown nosing goody. And that's just my opinion. Hey, girl, sue me. I don't give a shit. I'll see you back.
And to her sentence today. So far, she has used her time in jail to unwrap the layers upon layers of deceit and deception.
From who? Okay. From who? From whom? Because that was Thelma met Louise, just like Lori met Chad. They brought their own crap, in my opinion. They did.
Foisted upon her over the last 4 years by an unscrupulous individual.
We agree. But she's unscrupulous too. She was unscrupulous before she met this other unscrupulous individual.
Ruby realizes that she still has work to do in shedding those thinking errors and to
What about the church?
Establish a better and correct pattern of thinking and behavior.
So, okay, I've learned, look, I've not learned much about MK Ultra and programming and stuff like that. It's very, very, very intricate. Okay. It's very, yeah. So what I have learned is that schools, jails, prisons, military, colleges, schools, hospitals. What else? Those are the major this is where they program you. This is it. And I'm like, whoa, what do they mean by that? Because I'm like, I don't know. I'm reading a lot of weird stuff, right? So I'm just like, I I don't see it. I don't see it like that, but I'm starting to. I mean, starting to. My brother, he got out of prison and went to a rehab program. We watch television programs. We watch programs all the time. Program. It's part of the program.
Ruby realizes that changing her thinking, reestablishing relationships, and healing are not simple or easy tasks. However, she is committed to doing that work. I would like the court to know that Ruby Franke is a delightful, respectful, and responsible person. She is open to feedback and addressing the consequences of her actions head on, and now ready to address your honor and accept your judgment. Thank you, Judge Walton.
Thank you.
That's funny.
Ms. Franke has a statement she'd like to make.
Yeah. Now listen to her give permission. Judge. And she's going to thank all the academy, everybody. She's going to graze right over her 6 little chicks, which, you know.
Judge Walton, you don't have to be.
Again, it's just, this is how my mind works. And so there are things that these people say, and I see them in other places, and I can't help but wonder. I'm just like, okay, why is Chad Daybell referring to Tylee Ryan as a raccoon to his wife? Is it just so that she doesn't see a fresh grave or whatever, you know, fire, blah, blah, blah? Or is it a demeaning thing? Because I've heard it other places. I've heard Janet Russin use it to talk about someone, Fox 13 News, Adam Herbitz. Okay. Adam Herbitz he went to her house trying to get a statement from her from all the shit that went down with Tim Ballard. Okay. Normal business. Okay. But they always think somebody's out to get them. And so Janet Russin, the psychic that Tim Ballard used as intel, okay, to not find Gardy Marty, okay, because the kid's still missing. If he ever went missing at all, I said it. I did. I hope like hell. Anyways, and so she didn't like Adam Herbitz. Janet Russin did not, at least it doesn't appear to be. Okay, that's my take. She didn't like Adam Herbitz being at her house, like knocking on her door, trying to get a statement. He did the same thing to Hector Sosa. He did the same thing to Christopher Perrette. He did the same thing. You know, hey, you got anything to say? Yeah, I appreciate him. I appreciate his work. If you're doing some shitty shit, don't do it. I mean, hello. But anyway, so she referred to she was on a show with this Mormon, this active Latter-day Saint, Troy Abels, who's getting used, in my opinion, like yesterday's toilet paper. Okay. Whew, 1 ply straight up. And I don't even know if he's still, you know, rooting for Tim or not. I have no idea. I haven't seen him, but you know, so Janet is telling him, she said they were talking about Adam Herbitz, the journalist, the reporter. Okay. And she said, Coon. And I was like, noted, Coon. Did you just mark him? Coon labeler? Okay. And then, you know, so you do a little research into that and you learn that, I mean, I'm a coon ass where I am from in Southwest Louisiana. I'm a coon ass. We're like, yeah, I'm a coon ass. I mean, it's not like, it's not a put down. It's okay. We proud to be coon asses. Okay. But when you just say coon and you imply that racially to somebody to hurt them, or maybe because they're black or dark or whatever. I mean, Chad Daybell, you just, you know, you can be a blonde hair, blue eyed girl. Okay. Okay. But you're still a raccoon. You're still a coon. You're marked. You're dark. That's what it means. And I'm like, okay, noted. You know, and then there's this other guy who, oh shit, what's his name? Oh, Burgess Owens. He's a black guy. Okay. Which, I mean, in this group, okay, look, I'm all about diversity. I'm right here from South Louisiana. Like my school was mixed completely. That's just how I was raised. And I mean, me and Jason were even trying to think about this the other night. And I was like, I think I saw maybe 4 Black people total whenever I went to Utah and Idaho and stuff. And he was like, "Girl," he was like, "I don't even know if they were Black." And I was like, I don't know either. I don't remember. Lord knows I don't remember. But just trying to figure out, yes, there's diversity amongst white people, but wow, it's like total white privilege, it just it's interesting. You have breed. Well, you are right here, right? You're right here because I'm a mutt. And I mean, really, he is too. Chad is too. They're just whatever. They got superiority complex. They got lied to, is what happened. They got lied to. And unfortunately, they believed it or believe it or were taught that their whole lives. I have no idea. They're going to be shriveled up old hags in 30 years, except Jody. She will smell worse. Oh, God. She'll be like, she wants me. The bride of Satan. Don't think there is not this ritual, all right? Don't think there's not this ritual and you marry Satan. You're the bride of Satan. Don't tell me. I've seen it. I've read about it. I've watched other people talk about it. And I'm like, oh my God. And then if you really think about it, I don't want to put myself all the way up there. But the way, okay, so like Zulema testified to how they would bind and burn, obviously. Physical evidence. Okay. But like that ritual I was just showing you where I can't repeat it because I haven't heard it enough, but
souls, right? And say the ones with souls are soulless.
Yeah.
Because if you as a soulless being, because I'm sorry, when you are doing that to another being, you do not have God's soul alive and active in your in your body. You've got some kind of hitchhiker that's taken over you.
I think it's a way of binding. They bind the soul when they make that.
They bind the soul.
That declaration.
That's crazy.
Keeping that person from the fully expressing themselves through their spirit and their body together. So
remember whenever they said that Joe Ryan was sealed, with his dark spirit, according to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is going on here? That's why I'm always like, oh, okay.
I think it's a way of binding the soul when they do that.
In other words, total narcissistic manipulation.
Total freaking psychopath. Total Chad and Lori. Totally. Anyway, so it's another way for them to bind and curse and rip and burn and who knows? I mean, really, who knows? The spiritual weapons they talked about and the fiery darts and yada yada yada. I can't see them. Do I believe in things that I can't see? I don't have a way to prove or disprove, but if that's what all the dark people are doing, and they're doing it for the Dark Lord, but they're like, no, we're just picking, we really worship Jesus. Hey, Jesus loves me so. And they're lying their asses off right through their teeth. Okay. So that's that. So that's why I say the wrong Jesus, because they've been taught a version of Jesus for sure, but it's not the same one that I'm familiar with. So how can that be? Where did it go astray? Is it astray? Am I astray? Or are they astray? And then that's when you do what Tammy Daybell, she believed in, by ye fruits ye shall know. And so you look at the fruits. Well, I'm not in prison stripes. At least not for that. I'm just kidding. But I'm just saying, when you put apples to apples, yeah.
Okay, thank you. I would like to make a statement without any intent to change my stipulated sentence.
She's giving him permission.
For the past 4 years, I've chosen to follow counsel and guidance that has led me into a dark delusion.
The devil made me do it. Jody made me do it. Somebody else made me do it. She's never taken accountability, nor has Jody Hildebrandt. Neither has your sister Lori Vallow, okay, over there, or Lori Daybell, Lori Cox. That's concerning all in of itself.
My distorted version of reality went largely unchecked, as I would isolate from anyone who challenged me.
That's because you're a bitch and a control freak.
I was led to believe that this world was an evil place, filled with cops who control, hospitals that injure.
That's called projection too. So I'm looking at her parents. I'm looking at her parents and her sisters and her brother. Because blanket training, Bonnie, no. And then the way she was like, this has nothing to do with what I'm doing. My kids, they know. That's them kids' cousins, you know? And so you're slapping them in the damn face with what happened to them, because it happened to more than just, E and R Franke. It happened to all of them. Okay. This is a training. And I believe that Jody Hildebrandt was a trainer. I believe that David Hamlin is a trainer. And people in this system who worship the Dark Lord, who go to the meeting house, you know, when other people aren't there, like Chad Daybell, allegedly, this is all just rumor and speculation. I'll tell you when it's rumor and speculation and when it's not. I would love to confirm this. Ian? Anyways, it was said that Chad and Ian sacrificed a cat in the meeting house. So how you just met him, or did you just meet him, Ian? Did you, Dad? Call him Dad and Mom? Bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on this. And so I think Ian might have been put up to, given the information. This is more, in my opinion, more people. Okay. That's just me. And I'm going to at least vet this out until I get a no. I get a confirmation, not just somebody telling me. I got to see proof.
Government agencies that brainwash, church leaders
They do.
who lie and lust,
that too.
husbands who refuse to protect, and
you're a bitch.
Children who need abused.
Who even says that? Children who need abused. Who even talks like that?
My choice to believe and behave this paranoia.
She believed it and behaved it. Well, at least she said she behaved it, but she did. It's like the words, man. They're slippery, just like Melanie Gibb. Just like Lori, just like Melanie Boudreaux. My actions,
culminated into criminal activity for which I stand
heinous.
Before you today, ready to take accountability.
But I don't think it's nothing that didn't happen to her. That's all I'm saying. And Jody. That's my honest opinion.
Jody Hildebrandt was never my business partner.
Mm-hmm. She's like, hey, you got a pair of scissors? Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, everybody leave. Have a sense of humor.
Nor was I ever employed by her. I have never received wages from her or connections. Jody was employed as my son's counselor in 2019. And
trainer.
In 2020, I paid.
And was recommended to her and her husband, who are, I believe, a part of the system, to, by the church. Hey, yeah, here, we recommend Jody. We don't care what kind of record she has. We don't care if she has a license or not. Girl, go there. We'll pay for it. Go train your kid. And then train all your kids.
Paid her.
Break them.
My mentor.
Her mentor. Mm-mm.
It is important to me to demonstrate my remorse and regret without blame. I take full accountability.
To demonstrate my remorse and regret without blame. I'm going to have to run this through the ringer in a little while. Not right now. That just doesn't sound. It is important to me To demonstrate my remorse and regret without blame. Without her blaming other people or without taking blame. Either way, it's kind of weird, huh?
To demonstrate my remorse and regret without blame. I take full accountability for my choices.
You have to. You know why? Because your ass is going up the river. Okay? Anyway, so quit giving him permission.
And it is my preference that I serve a prison sentence.
That's her preference. She's giving him permission. I can't stand it.
Thank you to the officers in Santa Clara and the Ivan City Police. Nick Hellman, Brian Palufo,
where's her gown, and her crown?
Pickuvit, Mike Pondoyo in Tobler, John Ward, D. Lewis, and Chief Flowers. You were the angels who came and saved my children.
You don't get to say angels.
I especially want to thank Detective J. Bate. She plucked me out of a situation I didn't know how to get out of.
She cuffed you, and then you sat there like a freaking 2-year-old and just stared her down and would not talk because that's how mature you are. And you can't even woman up and say, oh, you can't even own what you did to your kids because you don't think it's wrong.
The moment she handcuffed
she saved her. That police officer saved her.
me was the moment I gained my freedom.
You
were not
her permission
the
too.
Ones. I was.
Oh no.
Thank you to the medical staff at Intermountain Hospital. Your skill, tenderness, and professionalism helped heal my children. Jody and I inflicted the injuries.
Yeah.
Not the hospital.
We know.
Thank you to
everybody in this room knows that. Is she telling herself that?
CFS, the Children's Justice Center, Judge Basil, and other key adults. You've gathered my children under your wing and offered them love, compassion, encouragement. You were not the ones who were doing the brainwashing.
Again. Who brainwashing? Is that what you were doing, Ruby? Is that what you were doing to your kids? You were trying to break their spirits, right? Yeah, you looked pretty successful, but you weren't. And they all know, again, everybody in this effing room and everybody within this viewing of this, you given permission, knows.
Thank you to my Bishop Tom Hawks.
Write his name down.
And my state president, Jim Nilsson.
His too.
For reminding me of the Lord's love for the lost. So much pain and suffering.
She's so lost. The devil led her astray, damn it.
Would have been avoided had I followed and heeded your counsel.
Mm-hmm.
I was the one who...
But you did follow and heed their counsel, is where I'm going.
Was deceived, not you.
You are a deceiver. You are an abuser.
Thank you to the Washington County Prosecutor's Office, Ryan Sham, the legal assistants and discovery clerks. Eric Clark, you exemplified to me how justice and mercy are meant to coexist.
I can't.
My charges are just. They offer safety to my family, accountability to the public, and they did show mercy to me. Thank you to my attorney, Lamar Winward, and his staff. I would not be where I am today without them.
And the money that you stole from your son's bank account in order to pay him.
Thank you to Randy Kester for your limitless energy in healing my family. My dear friends, Pam and Roy, I'm so sorry for...
Oh, for God's sake, Pam and Roy. Pam, who was named in the lawsuit, which we need to check on. I don't know how you do that. We'll find out. That was the best laid lawsuit. Best out. I mean, it was just like, blah, and I was like, oh my God, this is this is how you prove a network. Okay. You gave me all kinds of light bulbs and stuff, ideas. So yeah, Pam and Roy, where your daughters were there cleaning their house. That kind of goes in, it goes hand in hand with the Hamlins, in my opinion. That's exactly what that is. And it's to other trusted, look, I'm going to say CS members, but they call it the LDS Church of Satan, whatever. I wasn't there. Whatever they want to call it. And they also go by the group, you know what Lori and them went by? And it was their group. I didn't write it. That's how it was in the FOIA docs. Their group consisted of, the 7 gatherers, bunch of 7 stuff, right? We need to go over those again.
Family. My dear friends, Pam and Roy, I'm so sorry for letting you down.
In Chad's hometown.
Because of your association with me, your innocence was called into question. My mother-in-law
She is like giving them like free pass.
Your innocence was called into question.
Because of your association with me, your innocence was called into question. Still is.
My mother-in-law, father-in-law, Kevin's family, my cousins, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, and neighbors.
Layla, my girl.
You all saw the warning signs long before I did, and you did what you could.
Just say everybody.
You wanted to help, but I pushed you away. My mother and father, I have.
This is, and they went to Siberia. Okay, your daughter is going through all this, and you're like, got to go on a mission.
Been utterly wretched to you. You have offered me unconditional love, and for that I have offered you unconditional contempt. My siblings and their spouses, because of my decision to roll around in a pigsty, I have dragged your families through.
Because I abused my children. You didn't roll around in a pigsty.
The mud in public. Yet when I just,
which is the scorcher here. That's the scorcher, is like, oh my God, the neighbors are going to see. Remember that? Remember how the whole, oh my God, hi neighbors, sorry. And then Chad's like, oh, telling him about the neighbors, and they just all worried about what everybody else is going to say about them. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Desired to return as the prodigal sister.
You ain't a prodigal.
Unlike the prodigal's brother in the Bible, you seek to
stop. And then stop using the damn Bible. Okay. Use your Book of Mormon. Okay. Because that's where y'all are twisting all the things. It spawns from the Bible, but that's Joseph Smith got his idea from somewhere. You're not supposed to add to it or take away. I'm not like, oh, I got to have a Bible. I'm just saying, like it says not to do that. And that's exactly what he did. And then Joseph Smith said the most narcissistic thing, if he said it, allegedly, he's like, so long as this Bible is translated correctly. Okay. That's the most narcissistic. I mean, especially for someone who's not supposed to add to it or subtract from it, and then to be like, oh, I put all my knowledge into it. Okay. What? You're like 14? I mean, all your 14 years of studying, no.
Stuck with my parents and ran out to greet me. Your capacity to love is unprecedented. Kevin.
But you know what? There are people who do believe in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And I support that. I support them. I support you. I just want you to be aware of what they're not going to tell you. What I had to find out. Yeah, it's been shattering my worldview ever since Lori and Chad happened in 2019. And maybe that's another reason I'm depressed. You're just kind of like, yeah, I don't want to go see that movie. That sucks. I'm just saying, but I'd rather know. I'm pissed off because I was lied to so many times. Ugh. And if you don't think you're being lied to.
My husband of more than 23 years.
Down the drain.
You are the love of my life.
Girl, we saw your chart.
So sorry to leave to you to finish what we both started together.
You can still be a mom.
The ending of our marriage is a tragedy. and really wrapped around my heart in a knot I'll never be able to undo. To my babies, my 6 little chicks.
That's what she said. 6 little chicks. And I was like, because I saw that in the Hamlin victim statements, and I'm just, anyways, I don't even know what I did with that, but I know I gathered it and collected it, because there's also Joe Binion from the Hamlin docs who talks about, well, actually, I'm sorry, the Hamlin daughters, in their victim statements talk about Joe Binion, the alleged Punisher. Okay. For Spring City, for sure. He had a rabbit hutch is what it's called. And so I don't know. It's just these little things that it's like noted. And I have a lot of notes in my head. And I think it would be wonderful it's horrible subject, but it'd be wonderful to put the pieces together once and for all. At least start building up on that, and hopefully it'll help somebody else, If it doesn't help, maybe it'll fill in some more. I think we all have a piece of this, somewhere, somehow, some way, we all bring our information, we share it, and somehow that puzzle gets filled in more and more,
You were a part of me.
Yeah, so you were a part of me.
I was the mama duck who was consistently leading you to safety.
Wow.
I can see now. Over the past 4 years, I was in a deep undercurrent that
Past 4 years. Wait, a little longer, girl.
led us to danger. Over my world, I turned to darkness knowingly. I was so disoriented that I believed dark was light and right was wrong.
And that's exactly what Bishop Glenn Pace says. They say that light is dark, right is wrong, up is down, down is up, inverted.
I would do anything in this world for you. My willingness to sacrifice all feelings masterfully
I can't stand when people like this use the word sacrifice.
manipulated into something very ugly. I took from you all
Abuser.
that was soft,
Torturer.
and safe, and good. I took from you your mother. How terrifying this must have been for you.
I feel no remorse.
For hurting your tender souls.
I never cry for hurt. What? I never cry for hurting your tender soul. What?
You're so precious to me. I'm sorry.
Is it because you love yourself and you see yourself in them or something?
My choice to live in fear of the world has created a great...
You're not a victim. She's doing it again. It's my choice to live in fear of the world. No, it's your choice to become a freaking abusive torturer, okay, of your own children.
vulnerability and a blind spot for me, where I have broken hearts and I've caused people to suffer and I have betrayed sacred trust. Watching my community respond to my charges.
Not to what you did, but to your charges. Like, own it.
With justice and mercy and grace and love.
You can't say all the pretty little words.
There's all the more evidence today how wrong I've been. This world is full of really good people.
Uh-huh.
And finally, I'm sorry for twisting God's word.
Oh, isn't she going to do it, though, here in a minute, anyways? Oh, Lord, she used the word distorted.
Distorting his doctrines.
Cricket. That's when you can hear Larry's spider cough, okay, in the corner.
My greatest desire is to stand in his court someday spotless and confident.
girl, you can stand there imperfect and just, you ain't got to have all the middleman. You ain't got to be perfect. You ain't got to gain your worth. You don't have to do any of this stuff. Okay. No wonder. Yeah. Woo. This is like the perfect concoction, the perfect scenario. What am I looking for? The perfect blend, the perfect scenario. I don't know. Petri dish for Lori's, Jody's, this one, Ruby, all the other ones,
And Judge Walton, I know that standing before you today is a necessary step towards that end. Thank you to you and your staff.
She's pulling a Lori by just talking and talking and talking.
For facilitating my opportunity to take accountability and to answer for my charges.
She's thanking him for facilitating her accountability and to answer for her charges.
I am humbled and willing to serve a prison sentence as long as it takes to continue unraveling all of the misinformation I have believed and bought, swallowed, and acted out.
Oh,
and
victim.
for my family to heal and for the community to heal. And I understand this is going to take time.
And this is why people buy this shit too. I mean, it's slippery. It's real slippery language, but Summer uses it. Janice uses it. Lori, she's still using it. These people, this is what they do. They don't know any other language.
I'm committed to continuing my learning until all of my toxic layers are shed, and I am ready to re-enter as a contributing member of our beautiful society.
If.
Thank you, Judge Walton.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Now I give you the permission to.
Mr. Winward?
Yeah.
No,
Hit me.
Anything else prior to the court imposing sentence?
I got to say, though, it's better than what Lori just said. Okay.
No, Your Honor.
Is it?
The
No,
sentence
they're horrible.
will be that Ms. Franke serve 4 counts, 1 to 15-year sentences based on her convictions for 4 counts of aggravated child abuse. Again, they will be served consecutively pursuant to the parties' agreement and the applicable statute. Under the applicable statute, the court finds that consecutive sentences are appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
Ms. Franke, the last thing I do need to tell you is that you have only 30 days to file.
She will. Then Jody was like, "Oh no, I didn't know what I was signing. I need to be pro se, whatever the hell they are over there." Right. You're funny. You're funny. Oh yeah. I need, DJ. I need you to contact me, or I need to contact you. I don't know if you have my new number. I really don't. Beware of what comes from forked tongues, right? Because they will fork you. Haha. Okay, sorry. Let me see. DJ. Hey, Mr. DJ. I'm just texting right now because I'll never do it. Let's do a redo. Not right now, but whenever you can. If you want to. I would love to. I got so many questions now. I didn't know what questions to ask DJ before. I was like, what? So anyways, proving it's a geographical issue. Yeah. In the Bible Belt, and I'd say in the Mormodor. Stomp, stomp, clap. Right? You get me. I know. But it's the language. They use all the pretty words, and it sounds like they're holding accountability till you go back and you're like, what did she just say? And then it's like inversion. It's like Aleister Crowley. Okay. And he's like, do as thou wilt, straight up. And that's what I hear. It's crazy. Anyways, crazy is all we got. Right? At least ours is the good kind. Hopefully. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Let me get over here. So, yeah. All right. So, yada, yada, yada. She wants a new trial. Look, she's like, oh, she's like, all by myself. Yeah. So, Lori Daybell's motion for a new trial, filed pro per, raises several arguments under the Arizona Rules of Criminal Procedure, the U.S. Constitution, and the Arizona State Constitution. I didn't know they had two till just now. Well, oh wait, whoa. Arizona rules. Okay, hold on. let me hush my mouth. It's important to differentiate between legally viable arguments, baseless accusations, and the potential underlying strategy. Because I asked my chat GPT all these questions so that you don't have to, right? Oh no. Look at her. Hold on. Scooch. All right. I don't normally use this. All right. So the first one is pointless or baseless accusations by Lori Daybell. Oh, come on. Many of Lori Daybell's claims appear to be largely self-serving and shocker, and lack substantial legal merit, often relying on hyperbolic language rather than concrete legal violations. Yeah. Am I doing that right? Let's see. 207, 212. Let's see. Let me see what would have been next. Might have just learned me a shortcut. Yep, I did. All right. Quote, no honor in forcing this defendant to defend herself sick, unquote. Quote, no honor in ordering by any means necessary to ensure that you will be the judge to preside over this high profile case, unquote. Quote, no honor in threatening defendant over and over that you will inform the jury that she was convicted of prior murders, unquote. Quote, where is the honor? Where is the honor in this court system, unquote. These statements are emotionally charged and subjective. While feeling unwell during trial is certainly difficult, a judge has discretion to manage court proceedings, especially when a defendant is representing herself. The by any means necessary order likely refers to standard procedure for ensuring a defendant's presence in court, not a personal vendetta by the judge to preside over a quote unquote high profile case. Oh, that's her saying, I'm so special. The quote unquote threats about informing the jury of prior convictions are likely references to the state's ability to introduce evidence of prior bad acts. And we were like, open the door. I pictured, like, I can still picture it. It was like the Kool-Aid man going, oh yeah, like bust the damn thing open. Y'all warned her too many damn times. Okay. Trust me, it's way many times more than her. She did that to her victims. She did not warn them, period. Just saying. The threats about informing the jury of prior convictions are likely, I already said all that, or convictions for impeachment or other permissible purposes if Daybell, quote unquote, opened the door to such evidence. This is a common legal principle, and warning a pro per defendant about such consequences is often a way to ensure they understand the risk of certain lines of questioning. These are not legal grounds for a new trial. I'm like, thank you. Thank you, ChatGPT. Oh, I even added some quizzes. In a self-represented trial, what principle allows prior convictions to be mentioned if a defendant opens the door? So is it evidence of prior bad acts can be used for impeachment? The judge has no discretion in court proceedings. Prior convictions cannot be mentioned in court. A judge can preside over any case without reason. And so I always had a hard time with comprehension. So allows prior, isn't it this one? Oh, I can't because I'm on this. God dang it. We want to play. Oh, what? Okay. Can't play. Just write them down. Oh my God. The state. I'm sorry, y'all. Going rogue. Oh, shit. Pause. Damn. Okay, I'm just going to use the button. Okay, the state of Arizona does not honor the Constitution of the United States. The state of Arizona does not honor the constitutional rights of the accused or even the civil rights of the accused. This is a blanket conclusory statement without specific legal arguments beyond those. She attempts to, what the hell? I can't read. I'm getting hot. Okay. This is a blanket conclusory statement without specific legal arguments beyond those she attempts to make elsewhere in the motion. It's a rhetorical flourish rather than a legal argument. It's going to be another quiz, so flash past that one. Nope, I lie. It'll be after this one. Claiming a Fourth Amendment violation for a medical evaluation. So this says the Fourth Amendment protects against unreasonable searches and seizures. A medical evaluation ordered by the court, especially given her claims of illness affecting her ability to participate in trial, is unlikely to be deemed an unreasonable search. Courts have an interest in ensuring a defendant's competency and ability to participate in their own defense. While she cites Arizona Constitution, Article 2, Section 8, right to privacy, this is likely to be balanced against the court's legitimate interest in ensuring the trial can proceed fairly and that she is physically capable of self-representation. The, quote, without her knowledge, unquote, aspect of the order is questionable. As a defendant, she is subject to court orders. Amen. Okay, I told you. All right. HIPAA violation regarding medical evaluation disclosure. HIPAA primarily applies to healthcare providers and health plans. While disclosure of medical information can be sensitive, if the court ordered the evaluation and disclosure for a legitimate legal purpose related to her capacity to stand trial, it may fall under an exception for judicial or administrative proceedings. Furthermore, a HIPAA violation by a third party, CHS or MCAO's civil attorney, doesn't automatically mean the court committed an error, warranting a new trial. And in red, I put the proper recourse for a HIPAA violation is often a separate civil action. She's so smart. Denial of Rule 13.5, hearing on aggravating circumstances for conspiracy. Boy, she does not like this one at all. She states, quote, there is only one sentence allowed for the crime of conspiracy. You can't punish me more. To commit first-degree murder, and therefore the state should not have been allowed to argue aggravating factors. They didn't get to, right? Anyways, this suggests a misunderstanding of sentencing law. While conspiracy might have a set maximum, aggravating factors can still influence sentencing within that range, potentially leading to a higher sentence up to the maximum. A Rule 13.5 hearing relates to challenges to the legal sufficiency of allegations of prior convictions or non-capital sentencing allegations. It's not a general probable cause hearing for all aggravating factors. Her assertion that, quote, only one sentence, unquote, is allowed is likely incorrect and would need to be substantiated by specific Arizona sentencing statutes for conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. Stick that in your pipe, right? She knows it all, though. Okay. Not releasing the jury from the admonition on the record. While it's standard practice for a judge to formally dismiss a jury and release them from their admonition, a failure to do so on the record after the verdict and before a discussion about the aggravation phase is a procedural oversight, not typically a grounds for a new trial unless it can be shown to have prejudiced the defendant in some way. What if she says it does? Then that counts, right? Because if she, part of her belief system is if you can imagine it, then it's real. So there's that. She does not articulate any prejudice here. Okay. Anyways, scooch. And then, yeah, where the same could be said about, I did. I was like, so, I mean, what can be said about the same thing about her wanting her rights, but where the same could be said about Lori denying the very same rights to her 5 victims. Yeah. She's got a doozy, huh? Quote, not releasing the jury from the admonition on the record. Did I just go backwards? Oh. I was saving that. Let me make sure. Going backwards. Okay, I have it twice. My bad. At least I noticed. Yeah, so here. Zalema, Lori, and Melanie. I made that a long time ago, and I was like, oh, let me throw this in so maybe you can get a laugh out of it. Okay? Looks just like them. It really does. This is a crucial point that highlights the hypocrisy in Daybell's claims. While she demands protection of her due process, confrontation, and privacy rights, her actions demonstrably deprived her victims of the most fundamental right, the right to life and liberty. Fifth Amendment due process, 14th Amendment due process. Lori Daybell claims her due process rights were violated. Her alleged actions, hold on. Why do I feel like I left something? I didn't. Okay. Her alleged actions, which resulted in the deaths of Tylee Ryan, JJ Vallow, Charles Vallow, and Tammy Daybell, and the attempted murder of Brandon Boudreaux, and I'm going to say Joe Ryan, undeniably deprive these individuals of their most basic due process right to life and liberty without any process of law. Yeah. She didn't afford them crap. They were denied any form of fair treatment, notice, or opportunity to be heard before their lives were violently taken or threatened. Taken and threatened. Sixth Amendment Confrontation Clause. Daybell argues she was denied the right to confront witnesses. Her victims, Tylee, JJ, Charles, and Tammy, okay, this is still on that, okay, were certainly denied the right to confront their alleged attackers, including Lori Daybell herself. They had no opportunity to face their accusers or defend themselves against the acts that led to their deaths. Fourth Amendment Privacy / Arizona Constitution, Article 2, Section 8, right to privacy. Didn't I say this? No. Daybell asserts a violation of her right to privacy related to her medical evaluation. However, the alleged acts against her victims, particularly the concealment of Tylee and JJ's bodies, involved a gross invasion of their bodily integrity and final resting places. And she's still trying to control and hoard that to this day. And that is why she said what she said in her allocution statement. Can't wait to see what this one says. Anyways, denying them privacy even in death, or autonomy even in death. I mean, like, they visit me and he's grown up and he's like, Mom, you didn't do anything wrong. Why would your kid say, Mom, nothing to see here. Mom, you're okay. You didn't do anything wrong. Why would they even say that if you didn't do something wrong? Just saying. Charles Vallow's personal affairs and home were certainly disturbed when he was allegedly shot and killed. Don't flatter yourself, Lori. In essence, Daybell's motion ironically highlights the very rights she allegedly I'm taking allegedly out. In essence, Daybell's motion ironically highlights the very rights she disregards present for her victims, to her victims. The court's role is to ensure her rights are protected during her trial, but this does not negate the profound deprivation of rights experienced by her victims. And this says actual issues pointed out by Lori in supporting Arizona case law. While many of her claims are weak, there are a few points that could have a basis in law if she could prove significant prejudice or a clear error by the court. Now, again, this is written by my ChatGPT. It has way less bias than I do, and it knows how to kind of word stuff. Number one, forcing self-representation while ill / right to effective assistance of counsel implied. It's crazy when she's saying, that she doesn't have effective assistance counsel and she's a damn counselor. Lori's argument. She claims that forcing her to proceed pro per while very sick, quote, deprived her of the right to effective assistance of counsel, unquote. This is an indirect argument for a violation of the Sixth Amendment right to counsel, or more broadly, a fair trial under Rule 24.1 C5. While she chose to represent herself, her argument is that her physical condition rendered her unable to effectively do so, effectively depriving her of her Sixth Amendment right. And so it says potential legal basis / case law. While Ferretta versus California, U.S. Supreme Court grants the right to self-representation, this right is not absolute. A defendant must be competent to stand trial. We've been here. And competent to waive counsel and represent themselves. If a defendant, is that a helicopter? If a defendant's physical or mental condition significantly impairs their ability to conduct a defense, even if self-representing, it could potentially infringe upon their right to a fair trial. The court has a duty to ensure that a defendant's waiver of counsel is knowing, intelligent, and voluntary, and that they are able to meet the demands of self-representation. I'm so glad he kept a record. Judge Beresky. Arizona case law. Arizona courts would likely, oh my gosh. I looked at the time and okay, so I still have this clock set for Arizona time, so it's only 8:49 over there, allegedly. I think. All right. For any other reason not due to the defendant's own fault, the defendant did not receive a fair and impartial trial or phase of trial, unquote. If her illness was so severe that it demonstrably prevented her from presenting her defense, example, she was physically unable to speak, cross-examine, or think clearly, that's questionable, and this was not her fault, i.e. she wasn't feigning illness, it could be a basis for a new trial. However, judges are given significant discretion in these matters, and proving such a severe impact and lack of fault would be challenging. The court would have records of her demeanor and the medical evaluations, and that he does. Number 2, lack of impartiality, denying argument on objections, sidebars, and investigator consultation. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. Lori's argument. She claims the court showed a, quote, lack of impartiality, unquote, by precluding her from arguing objections, regularly denying sidebars, and not allowing time to consult with her investigator. She cites State versus Medina, 193 Arizona 504, 509, 975, page 2D 94. Oh my gosh, 1999, which states, quote, a defendant may move for a new trial based on the court's lack of impartiality, unquote. Potential legal basis / case law. While Medina does state this, the standard for proving a lack of impartiality is high. A judge is presumed impartial. She would need to show, quote, by the preponderance of the evidence, unquote, that the judge's actions were based against her and prejudiced her defense. My gosh, sorry. Not merely that the judge made rulings she disagreed with. Oh my gosh, let me go over there so I can mute myself so I can clear my throat. Welcome in, everybody. Hey. Staff meeting. Gotta go. Oh, I want to go to a staff meeting. It's been a long time. It's hot in here, so you're getting the whole that girl look. Okay, sorry. All right. But good to see you, Divergent. Always good to see you. Let me shut this window. Okay, not that one. Okay, yeah, not just the one she disagrees with. Okay, so judges have broad discretion in managing trial proceedings, including the extent to which they allow arguments on objections or sidebars. Denying a sidebar isn't automatically a sign of bias. However, systematically cutting off a pro per defendant, I'm like, did you hear her though? who may not be as familiar with procedural rules could, in extreme cases, be seen as impeding their ability to present a defense. No, she just needs to be louder. And then she needs to not be an asshole and be louder when she don't need to be. You know what I'm saying? Like demanding stuff like a freaking 2-year-old. Bad 2-year-old. And 2-year-olds aren't bad. She is, though. Arizona case law, and it says, again, applies here, quote, did not receive a fair and impartial trial. The Medina case itself emphasizes that a judge is presumed impartial and the burden is on the defendant to show bias. So, yeah, put that in your pipe and smoke it. It's difficult to prove bias simply through adverse rulings or procedural decisions. The conduct must show a, quote, deep-seated favoritism or antagonism that would make fair judgment impossible, unquote. Confrontation clause violation, quote, slash allowing GSR and DNA evidence without sufficient foundation and denial of right to confront witnesses. Okay, first off, I don't know much about law, but I'm like, didn't she have a pen, and she sent out, subpoenas? She's like, oh, they're out. Yeah. I mean, she could have subpoenaed everybody if she wanted to, but she subpoenaed nobody like she did. Okay. In this one and the last one. Anyways, Rule 24(1)(c)(5) again applies here. Did not receive a fair and impartial trial. The Medina case itself emphasizes that a judge is presumed impartial and the burden is on the defendant to show bias. It's difficult to prove. I already said all that. Dang. Okay. Let me go to the next one. Lori's argument. This is perhaps her strongest legal argument. I was like, oh, crap. Okay. She claims a violation of her Sixth Amendment right to confront all witnesses, citing Smith versus Arizona 602 U.S. 779, 2024. She argues that witness Tammy Lachik, who collected critical evidence, blood blots, DNA swabs, GSR particles, did not testify, but other analysts, Sapaniso, I don't know, and then Mueller, anybody else do that? Like Bueller? Okay. Testified about analysis completed based on Lachik's work. She also claims she was precluded from investigating Lachik's employee file for impeachment evidence. It was not her damn business, in my opinion. As far as I know. Potential legal basis / case law. This argument directly implicates the confrontation clause of the Sixth Amendment. So it directly implicates it. The Supreme Court's Crawford versus Washington 2004 and its progeny, like Melendez-Diaz versus Massachusetts, Bullcoming versus New Mexico, and indeed Smith versus Arizona, have clarified that if a witness's testimonial statements are introduced, if a witness's testimonial statements are introduced for their truth, so Tammy Lachik, the defendant has a right to confront that witness, typically through cross-examination. Subpoena her. I mean, I don't know if it has to be, from the state. I don't know all that stuff, but just subpoena her, Miss Confrontation. Okay. And then I remember having this pulled up, but yeah.
California. So she created the DNA profile for the known sample from Alexander Cox. Detective Pillar attended the autopsy and obtained the blood blot and impounded it.
And retired
himself. So
yeah,
that's where the profile came from.
Yes.
Let me back this up a little bit. Like the timestamps on this are not correct. Like it's hard to, like, I'm supposed to be looking over here at 3 something, but here we are way over here. And I don't even know if it's, I don't know. I tried.
Proof.
We are talking about it there.
Created the DNA profile for Alexander Cox.
Who are we talking about?
It's Emmy Lynn Sapinoso.
Okay.
She no longer works for Mesa Police Department. She moved out to California. So she created the DNA profile for the known sample from Alexander Cox.
Total narcissist.
Detective Pillar attended the autopsy and obtained the blood blot and impounded it himself. So
That's where the profile came from?
yes. So he will be testifying as to that later.
He's covering his bases right here. I mean,
Additionally,
it's not going to go past this.
assuming we
I think.
continue going, I also have Lisa Perry, who took the cuttings from the swabs that were obtained from the Jeep up in Rexburg, Idaho. I will not have the DNA analyst here till after Detective Pillar is done testifying. But Lisa Perry, who just basically took the cuttings and stuck them into tubes so that Vanessa could do DNA profiles on them, is also here today. So my hope was to, out of order, call Emilyn Sapinosa, Lisa Perry, and then I have Officer Marianne Robb.
Fargo.
Then I would resume with Mr. Pillar.
Okay, so from Emilyn Sapinoso, you would be talking about the profile she created.
From the blood blot from Alexander Cox.
All right, but that's not a piece of evidence that's physically getting admitted.
No, it's not going to be physically admitted, but we have not had testimony of that. So I'm just making a record that I will be presenting testimony of that through Detective Pillar. We just haven't got to it yet.
Okay, and then Lisa Perry will testify about cutting pieces of fabric out of the Jeep and impounding them.
Swabs were taken from like the steering wheel, door handles, seatbelt buckles.
She has nothing anyway, but whatever.
Detective Pillar will testify that he observed all those being done and being all the safe techniques that were used. So he will be testifying as to that as well. But again, we haven't got there yet.
Are you going to show her the swabs? Are they here?
No, because they would be destroyed if we brought them here. And obviously we save them for any future testing should anyone ever request that to be done.
All right.
So we will just discuss the impound numbers.
Okay.
And what
she just wants to trash somebody.
All right. Is there any record the defendant wants to make?
We'll just wait.
Sure. Are they lined up or okay?
Here comes Miss Prissy Pants.
I was there.
He's like, what? Oh, no, this is old. Come on. She's taking too long.
Because according to Tammy Lachek's report, she is the one that took the blood blot from Alex Cox. So we're going to just have our same objection to the Crawford that it's missing because she's not here to testify against it, about it. If Detective Pillar did witness that, I understand that, but it's not the same thing as her telling us how she did it, when she did it, why she did it, how that was processed.
Okay. The evidence, as I understand it, or the testimony as I understand it, is that Emilyn Sapinoso is just simply going to testify that she received a clot, a sample of blood or a blood clot, and then created the profile.
Correct.
Okay, so not to put the cart before the horse, but that's all she's testifying to at this point. So I understand your objection. I don't think we're to that point because they're not admitting it into evidence yet. So anything else?
Just that, is that not confusing to the jury to do it that
It could
out
be a
of
little.
order?
It could be a little confusing in that it's not a linear So anything else?
Just that, is that not confusing to the jury to do it that
It could
out
be a
of
little,
order?
it could be a little confusing in that it's not a linear presentation of how things happened, but the state isn't required to call the witnesses in that that type of sequence if they're not able to. So
Your Honor, obviously, because we started 2 days late last week, due to the defendant, it did throw the state's case off. We would have already had Detective Pillar already testifying and done before today. So
okay.
We're doing what we can with what we got.
All right, let's bring the jury in.
Oh, I've been muted the whole damn time. Oh my God. Well, y'all got to read it, okay? Oh my God. What the? I gotta go turn my ear off is what I said. Oh my God. I feel like a dumbass. That was a long time. Welcome back. Well, hey, I'm glad you could join us. Glad you could join us. Glad you're back. I can't hear y'all anyway, so y'all are always mute. Anyways. Oh my God. Yeah, my phone's right here, but I think I lost my hearing. Red flag. I'm enjoying myself. Oh my God. Yep. Today's entertainment. Janet's like, ah. Girl, y'all can't hear and I can't see. So what's that? They say, there's an old saying or a saying, I don't know if it's old, but if we get caught, I'm blind and you don't speak. I mean, I'm deaf and you don't speak English. So there's that. Muted. Noted. Okay. Y'all are just as funny too. Did you clock it? Just wondering. My mouth hurts. Thank you. I needed that. I needed this. Yeah. You know who else is expressive? Brandon Boudreaux. I'm like, he is a very animated witness that I either just didn't notice because in Idaho it's so damn grainy, I think on purpose. Oh man, I know. Send her ass away. Bye. Yeah, he was so animated, and I appreciate that. I'm really. I mean, that's who he is. So I was really glad that he was like, you can read it on his face. It's nothing new. You're right. This maneuvering has been around since Adam and Eve. Yep. You are. I'm glad I'm not alone. I had the y'all got to see the slides, okay? So we're not even going back. So there's that. Your phone is broken. Go get you a new one. No. Getting a new phone is a freaking nightmare. You're like, will it transfer? Will it? Yeah, we're back to there. Yep. I worry that I might be thought of as histrionic. No. Like them. They're like, no. Mm-hmm. Well, anyways, we were just getting to Melanie Boudreaux anyways. So, all right. Mic check. Okay. Thank y'all for putting up with my shenanigan. Ugh. Ugh. Mom, Dad. Ugh. Bubba Humps. That's Bubba Humps. Anyways, Lori Daybell. Oh, yeah. I will go back on this. I lied. So, yeah. Is she still throwing her niece, Melanie Boudreaux, under the bus? I did not write this. My chat GPT did. I just blew it up. Yes, absolutely, says chat GPT. Ah, girl, you better run. Let's see. Lori Daybell explicitly states, quote, additionally, the state continuously stated defendant's line of questioning relating to Melanie Boudreaux. Her last name is Pulowski. Constituted a third-party defense, yet defendant never attempted to blame Melanie Boudreaux for the crimes. Defendant was simply attempting to. I mean, come on, y'all. I was just trying to. I was attempting to cross-examine the victim, Brandon Boudreaux, as to why he blamed Lori Daybell. Okay, exhibits 192, 193, and 194. Are attached as exhibit 2, unquote. It says this paragraph, when I need you to see something, it's all in red. This paragraph directly indicates her attempts to introduce information about Melanie Boudreau-Pawlowski during the trial. Her claim that she, quote, never attempted to blame Melanie Boudreau for the crimes, unquote, is disingenuous. While she might not have explicitly said, quote, Melanie did it, unquote, the act of questioning Brandon Boudreau about why he blamed Lori in the context of Melanie and trying to introduce exhibits related to, she thinks she's slick, man, and trying to introduce exhibits related to Melanie, which the state viewed as opening the door to Lori's prior convictions. Hence the reason they held that little, hey, you're going to open the door, going to open the door. And we're like, open the damn door, open the door. Oh my God, is a clear attempt to deflect blame or create reasonable doubt by suggesting alternative perpetrators or motivations, specifically implicating Melanie or Felonious. Somebody had put one day. I was here for it. This is a classic, quote, third-party culpability, unquote, defense strategy. Even if not directly stated, she is very much continuing to point fingers at Melanie, albeit indirectly, because they're not confrontational. Okay, they're just like stabbing you in your back. I mean, you ain't got to turn all the way around. They're jabbing you, okay? To explain away Brandon Boudreau's testimony and potentially shift blame away from herself. So, yeah, Melanie, she does love you like a daughter, except you're still alive. Whew. That's shitty. Anyway, so yeah. And then, I went to this because it's one of the sources that for this ChatGPT special. And so it led me to the website, and it's pretty cool. I can't click on it, obviously. I want to, but it's in presentation mode, so I can't. But I'm going to reach out to these people because they're just writers for, I don't know. I got to look at it again. And I can't show you to tell you, but anyways, I don't know. I'm just going to ask. All they can do is tell me no. But if they would just, share their layman, because they like break things down into layman's terms. That's what it is. Layman's terms, for people like me who don't go to court. And so you go to that website right there, and it will help you learn things in layman's terms, which I'm all about. I'm looking for it. Anyways, all I gotta do is probably turn this off. Close. Yeah, quit making things difficult. Oh, damn, way back here. Ain't no rest for the wicked. I'm not wicked. I don't think. I hope not. I don't feel wicked. Okay, let's see. God dang, get me there. Yeah. Okay, so I was like, what do they do? Who we are. So this blog is devoted to covering the U.S. Supreme Court comprehensively without bias and according to the highest journalistic and legal ethical standards. This site is provided as a public service. Thank you for your service. Originally founded in 2002. All right. SCOTUS blog was later acquired by Dispatch Media, Inc. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Anyways, I'm going to email one of these people. This obviously isn't where it told me what they do. Oh, submissions. I was like, what submissions? Is happy to receive submissions focused on the Supreme Court. So you can send in your own submissions here. Focused on the Supreme Court in any cases before it or which it has recently decided. Below are some guidelines explaining what we require in such submissions, along with some tips to give your submission the greatest chance of being published. So they're not interested in op-eds or hot takes, but fair, reasoned analysis. And so submissions should generally, I'm not going to write them. I'm going to ask them if they would come talk. I mean, they're writers for this blog. So I wonder if they could. I don't know if this is the Maricopa County Supreme Court or not. Do you know? Anyways, am I muted again? Okay, no. Yeah, I know. Except she gets to live. Woo! I'm telling you, y'all. And I have this. I'm from Louisiana. We have a lot of Cajun French words, and it's called the envies. I've got the wants. I'm drooling. Okay. I want to take all of the data. Okay. From Melanie or having to do with Melanie. I just want to see for myself. And that's just with the layman, right? And from Lake Charles, Louisiana? What? Oh, you did good. You have good taste. I'm just kidding. But you do. You already know that though. Oh, except look, I just thought about Ryan who married Gypsy Rose. And I'm like, well, damn. Mm-mm. Oh, Ryan. He's from Lake Charles too. So okay. But yeah, I want to gather that all up. And I want to hash that however it's got to be hashed. Or whatever. I don't know. Just basically for my mind, it's me, Melanie Lee. Yeah, that. Thank you. Oh man. I need to go back to bed. It's what it is. He's pretty awesome. Oh no, yeah. There is Ryan. Yeah. Look, July 22nd. Oh. Please say that Ken will be going to what could be Lori's final sentencing. I so want for all of you to come together for this one. I'm from South Australia. Does that count? Yep. Come on. There's a portal somewhere. There's a portal near you. Hash goes to the pipe to smoke. Sir, yes, sir. I do want to go. I mean, I don't want to be around people or in a court. But hold on, I gotta answer this phone call. Hold on. I did it. I did it. I'm Trace. You're muted. Okay, hold on. Gotta do something. Allegedly. Okay. Oh my gosh, my brain's like gridlock. Okay. Safari. It's just like when I open my phone screen and it's just apps, I'm like, it's like when you walk into a room and you're like, what did I come in for? That's me. Okay, all the way to the top. Oh, dang. I've got too many damn windows. Too many tabs open. Okay, yeah. It's still trying to latch onto my Wi-Fi. Get it. Do y'all talk to your phones like this? Wondering. Well, I'm glad you're here. Better late than never, huh? Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. That's all I had to do. So, yeah. Megan's in here? Oh, hey, Megan. What's up, girl? I sent it to you. Now that everybody knows. There you are. Okay.
Hey,
There you are.
good to see y'all.
Now you know who just called. So, he was like, glad to hear your voice. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't want to schedule over you. And I was like, did I? And then she's like, well, I don't know. When are you going? I'm like, I'm on. And she's like, oh my God. And so what is
Yeah,
she doing? What are you doing?
I am I'm trying to touch grass, y'all. I'm out working in the garden.
I'm so proud of you. And I'm probably going to do it's been raining here too. I mean,
Yeah.
plus I've been sleeping. So
Yeah, we had bad thunderstorms for the last few weeks, which is good and bad, but
yeah.
I've had all of these projects that I've been wanting to do outside and haven't been able to because I've been, in court and traveling and all that BS.
Yeah.
And so now that I only have one more little thing to do there, I can pay attention to my house a little bit more.
Right. I know. Look, Jason, he bought a used riding lawnmower, and I'm just like, oh Jesus. Okay. And so the other day he was sleeping. I didn't want to wake him up, and I was like, okay, I know how to ride a damn lawnmower, right? I got my push
Mhm.
mower, but I'm like, the hell with that thing. I got to get a lot of grass done right now,
Yeah.
And so I went gassed it up, and I'm like, come on now, these things are just, it's pretty much one way. You just got to figure out the little, you know.
Yeah.
Anyways, it never would turn over, never would turn over. And I was like,
Hmm.
oh, the hell with it. Came inside sweating, pissed. Anyways, he's like, yeah, you got to flip the gas tanks on. I'm like, who came up with that?
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's a mower. What the hell? It doesn't make any damn sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, and it's just been, like you said, it's been storming here too. It keeps the house cooler during the day, unless
Yeah.
it heats up a lot. But this is what I like. Just chewing the fat.
Yep. Just regular old life,
Regular life.
like normal people have. I do have to report a crime, a senseless murder that
Somebody
occurred
call 911.
on my property yesterday. An entire family of Yellow Jackets was slaughtered in their home, bodies everywhere.
Effing right.
Um,
Girl, they stung me under my arm twice. It was a garage sale or something. I was like, oh hell, never mind. I mean, that ruined my whole week.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So it literally just took over everything I was trying to do in the backyard because I couldn't. The nest was right in the corner of the wall where I opened my back door.
oh no.
And so I couldn't let the dogs out there. I couldn't go outside to grill. I love to grill in the
Nope.
summer so I don't get my house hot with the oven.
They were guard jackets. They were
Yeah,
like, no.
exactly. So, and the thing is, like, I went and, waited until they were all in the nest like you're supposed to do. I soaked the whole thing with insecticide. I could see, they were dropping. And I was like,
EPA
okay, I'm
comes
gonna
out, gives you a fine.
right.
Yeah.
Hazardous
Anyway.
chemicals. And then I went back a few hours later and there were still ones that were alive. So I
Oh
soaked
God.
it again And
Oh,
I
you
came
pulled
back.
a Chad Daybell is what you did.
I did. Yeah. I came back the
Oh,
next morning. They were still there. So I'm not kidding you. I had to soak the nest like 4 times in order to get it to finally be done.
oh,
So
so they were soaking. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Girl, we can,
bunch
I
of
will
Mormon
drag you
yellow
into every
jackets.
gutter. We will not. Yeah, no, this will be a Mormon Yellow Jacket episode. Got murder, soaking, killing
Murder.
of the Yellow Jackets.
I could tell that the perpetrator stood approximately 6 feet from the home and fired in a west to east direction with a trajectory of approximately 45 degrees. I don't
Are
know what
you
I'm talking
sure?
about.
Are you sure? But did you pick up the glass? Did you
You know,
pick up the glass?
I did not see with my own eyes or hear with my own ears the trajectory, but there was a
We bring
broken
some
Coke bottle,
green chicken
allegedly.
chili enchiladas. They're not chicken though.
Yeah. The family was sitting down to dinner to eating their green chili insect enchiladas.
Everybody swole up. Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh yeah. We could write children's books.
It was obviously a polygamist family. There was more than one wife.
Usually. Except wait, they have colonies, right? And not
Yeah.
covens. That's the
Yeah,
only
they've
damn
got, yeah.
difference.
Yeah.
Oh, stingy bitches.
I don't know if it's more than one wife or if it's more than one husband in there. Are they doing polygamy or are they doing
It's
polyandry?
polyamory. It's both. They're equal opportunity exploiters. They don't care.
Biandry? I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah. Oh my God, this was good. It went way too long, but it was great. We can continue. Oh my gosh.
Well,
And you have that
Kresha,
personality too.
I was going to ask you if you know anything about those missing FLDS kids, because that's the rabbit hole I'm down right now.
No. I mean,
Okay.
I've watched your stuff and Web Sleuth and Nate Eaton, and then I heard the mom. I mean, because
Yeah.
it's the 2 kid thing, and like I want to jump into Jack and Lily. That's like that's a Tylee and JJ 2.0.
Yes. I'm
But
interested
I
in
mean,
that
we've
one
been
as
through
well.
it. I mean, might as well. I'm gonna be honest. Hopeful but honest. It just, anyways. I haven't even looked at it more than just thumbnails and like people's
Yeah.
titles. But the FLDS. I remember researching the FLDS, and I ended up learning. I'm not taking this off the kids, but just to know that as a non-Mormon, never mow. Thank you, Jesus. No, I'm picking. That I found out that there's the FLDS, then there's the LDS, and then there's the RLDS. And the more I was kind of, comparing them all, I learned that, in my opinion, and I mean, again, it's been a long time since I've looked at it and compared them, but RLDS was more Christian, more in line with the Christian thing. Like, to me, that would be your mainstream and not the Brigham Young.
Yeah. And there's, if you want to argue whatever doctrine and theology,
Split the hairs.
This is the way that it worked. When Joseph Smith died, they didn't know who should take over because there was no plan. Joseph Smith didn't leave a plan for that because he thought he was going to live forever.
Right.
Chad and Lori.
But ask DJ, he'll tell you he probably still does.
But then, Brigham Young, Sidney Rigdon came and said, well, I think I should take over. And Brigham Young was like, no, I think I should take over. So most people went with Brigham Young. But there was a group, Emma, who was Joseph's wife, and some other people who believed it should be Joseph Smith's son that took over. That's the group that became the RLDS, or the Reorganized Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They have a female prophet now.
Jeffrey Lundgren, his cult and him belong to that one.
Yeah. So there are over 200 offshoots
Why?
of the original Mormon church. I'll tell you why. Because Joseph Smith instituted polygamy, and all these sickos who wanted to be able to have sex with whoever were like, oh, here's a, biblical doctrinal, God said we could do this, gave us permission. And so they all sort of like formed their own little group because they wanted to do it in their own little way. So in a way, this started with Joseph Smith, and it's still going on today. There are over 40,000 people who are in polygamous cults right now in the United States.
And they're mostly in Utah, or just are they in the Mormidor? Mostly,
most
I'm sure
of
they're
them
everywhere.
are. Yeah, they're everywhere. Most of them are in the Morador, but they're just wherever they can get away with it. It's like,
Yeah.
And that's the reason why now the FLDS, the origin of that is a little complicated, so I'm not going to get into it right now. But what they did is they just went and bought their own property and formed their own community, and the police were part of it and all of that, so that they could just do what they wanted.
Do what thou wilt.
Exactly. Now, thank goodness, they've got some police who are not affiliated with the church.
They're not corrupted, most likely.
And they've got a mayor who is a former member, so they can finally start to sort of repair things down there. And I'm gonna go into a lot of that on my live. But the problem is, the people who get shunned or excommunicated or whatever, if they get their kids out, now the people inside the FLDS are trying to bring all these kids back.
Yeah, that's wild.
They're doing shady stuff. Like this lady, she found phones on her property that the FLDS people had left for her kids so that they could contact people back in the church.
No, and I would be okay. I would be on board with this if it was to get them out, but it's to get them back in.
Right. It's to get them back in.
So they're like, haha. Yeah.
Yeah, but I really just think, there are so many cases out there that I can cover that are similar to, Lori's manipulation tactics. And I've got another one. I'm going to talk about the Megan Jackson one. She's already been sentenced. But, for me, really, when I heard this story of the missing kids, I'm like, that's where I need to go. I want to help find missing kids.
Yeah. You need Mike Watkiss with his beard and his mustache from the 70s. You need him.
Yeah. Oh,
he
yeah.
knows all about the FLDS.
Yeah.
I mean, Warren Jeffs is nasty. He's a nasty MFer. He was like wearing modern basketball shorts and all like teed out or whatever. And they were like globe trotting, him and his little entourage.
Well, when they found him, he had like $50,000 in cash and like all these wigs and sunglasses and stuff. And he was in Las Vegas driving a red Cadillac.
Yeah, red. I told my mom, look, when Lori was first extradited, I'm sorry, I'm saying her name. Whenever 153745, whenever she was extradited from Hawaii to Idaho. And I'm telling you, that's the first time I saw her on my screen, and I'm like, who the hell is, I don't know who that is, So I told Mom, I was like, wear red. By that time I'd already learned about red signifying, or the symbolism for red was the second coming of Jesus. She was like, red for what? No, she wore them big old look like what beads. I'm just saying. No, big Mardi Gras beads, basically. Anyways, but that was really nice what those people did. They made those leis especially for Mom and Larry, and anyways, but I remember researching oh my gosh, I just lost LeBaron. And I've come to the conclusion, and of course, I'm quick, and so I'm like, I scour. So, I come to the conclusion, what it looks like to me is like, there's the expendable kids. And I'm trying to understand this in the mind control, the more controversial reality, in my opinion. Okay. I mean, we talk about indoctrination and we keep it to this institution, but we don't look at all the other indoctrination and all the other institutions and all the things and where we stay most of our lives and where we congregate, who we visit with, who we associate with. I'm just saying. So I'm just trying to broaden my horizons a little bit and trying, like, if it's in plain sight, is it that it doesn't exist, or is it that I haven't seen it? And I was not trained or taught to ever look for it. Therefore, it just goes right over my head. So
I will say one of the positive things that came out of OUR, and it's hard to find some positive things, but when I was running that club at school for people to help with the trafficking problem, they had this little course that you could take where you could learn the signs of trafficking.
Right. And
learn how. Yeah. And so I liked that. And I liked being able to teach my students about that, to be aware of it. And especially here in South Texas, it's a big problem.
Wow. Yeah. Big time. Anywhere. I think anywhere, like any of us, all of us, we can teach one kid, your own kid, your grandkid, whatever.
Yeah. And that's one thing I didn't do enough of with my kids, because I hadn't dealt with my own stuff yet. And so I didn't know how to talk about it.
Right.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't know. Is this tarnished, And I mean, I'm sure, again, there's always a negative to a positive. I've learned that pretty much. Anyways, but boy, I've been wanting, and I don't know if I want to do it right here, but there's a picture that I found, and I'm gonna have to find it again so I can show you. But everybody, and I want to say, I don't know if this is your grandmother or if this is Barry's mom. I don't know. But Lori is with her, and they're doing it. They're like, and I'm just like, and then there's a picture. Did you see me? I don't know if you were even looking. They're just,
Yeah.
And the devil's horns or whatever. I think that's what it's called.
The Longhorns are
also,
the
right?
the UT football team. Yeah.
Yeah. Tim Ballard does it a lot too, but he like slips it into his whatever. He slips it into his talks. It's very interesting. So I just kind of pay attention to it, And I mean, again, it's not like my bonus son, my oldest one, he takes ASL. And so he's like, I love you. And I'm like, well, it's good and bad. I'm just saying, or good and bad. I just say good and bad. I don't know if it's good or bad. I'm just looking and noting things and
just observing.
Right. And just wondering how these things move generation to generation to generation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I take what my grandmothers and my grandfathers taught me as church. That's word. I'm just like, okay. It's just an old wives' tale. It's just old timey stuff, right? But there's a lot of things that I'm like, oh, whoa, yeah, no, nope.
Yeah.
That I'm catching and learning myself, Not to mention, and I don't, again, I know you don't go all here, but, I'll drag you there. We'll just come visit for a second, but there's that picture of Julie Rowe. And again, I didn't notice this ever. I never noticed this. And then I did. And it was way after the fact. It was probably about within this year, And I was like, what the hell is meant by this? And so the day that Tylee and JJ were unearthed, so Julie went and stood like, hold on, I pulled it up. Yay, I did it. Hold on. Let me see. Let me fix us real quick and I'll switch it to it. And so again, I never knew anything about Pizzagate. Okay, I'm just like, I've heard about it. I'm like, oh Lord, oh Lord, what the hell ever. And I'm like, Tylee and JJ aren't that, like that's not what that's not what this is. You know what I'm saying? But but I just want to point this out because I think it's worth pointing out that this was the day that the kids were found. Okay. Ooh. I'm trying to find the one. Oh, okay. Well, never mind. That was a bad idea. Anyways, I have more to this post, but yeah, I actually need it. Damn it, Kresha. Oh my God, that freaks me out, man. That just she freaks me the hell out.
Yeah, she's nuts.
Oh yeah, okay. So Julie Rowe learns that the kids were recovered from Chad Daybell's backyard. And the first thing Julie does is pose in front of a pizza shop in order to post about how devastating this was for her. Why? I never noticed this prior to realizing that this, oh God, run on sentence there. This is perhaps a secret society and not just because of unchecked religious beliefs in the church. You know, like it's just not, it's like, why would you go and purposely pose in front of this and, you know, all this? I haven't even researched into it because I'm just like, I know it's got stigma to it and I have everything else with stigma damn on it. You know, I'm tired of the stigma, but you know, it's like, I need to wait. I need to gird up my loins. Or like I said that one day, girdle up my loins.
Yeah.
That was funny. I don't care who you are. But yeah, so I mean, it's just interesting. That's just one thing. Oh, hello. That's just one thing. You know, I started to notice where even with Melanie Gibb, you know, she talked about pizza box, JJ cutting a pizza box, and I'm like, it's just the way my brain works. I can't help it.
Yeah.
And so I'm just kind of, you know, matching these things, and because we don't know, it's because they're not honest murderers, you know. And so I got to put it together. Maybe I will never try to force it, but you know, I just want to put the things together, and then people can do with what they want. You know, it's not going to bring them back, but I hope that it brings them clarity, and I hope that it does help, like you said, kids in the future. Like I don't know, I don't know if this is just a bunch of nonsense, you know.
Yeah,
but I think people politicize a lot of things and on purpose because I've seen that in the David Hamblin case, which is freaking crazy. And
yeah, that's the other thing that I want to talk more about is like looking at things objectively and looking at facts without without assigning some kind of political meaning to it. Because you know, I made a comment on my channel one day shortly after the election that we have created a system in the United States where only narcissistic people can be elected. And you know, there's more to say than just, it's not quite that simple.
No,
Yeah,
and
it's
that's
not quite that
being
simple, but there's more to say than that.
It's pretty simple.
But I got a bunch of I got a bunch of people saying, you know, don't get political. If you get political, I'm leaving your channel, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I didn't say anything political right there.
Right. They get all defensive.
All I said, all I said is that we've created a system where you have to really be so self-serving in order to get elected to office here in this country.
Oh man, and it is corrupt to me. To me, it's like they either part of it and taking part in the Diddy parties and all the things, or the, let's say the castings with Lori and the gals. You know, I mean, they're either part of it or they can be compromised. And I mean, okay, so I don't want to lose my career and I'm trying to feed my family. And then here you are saying that if I don't drop that case right there, so people are compromised, whether they're, you know, taking part in the abuse or not, you know. it still affects so many people.
Yeah.
Corruption is
exactly.
real. I'm not going to sit there and be an idiot and say, oh, no, you know, I never would have seen that coming. You know, I don't want to be that person. I don't.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to be caught
Yeah. So there are so many.
like that. Caught off
Yeah, me
guard.
neither. Yeah. And there are so many things that I want to talk about, that I think it's important to just look at the facts objectively. And so
Mhm.
many people get upset about it because it, maybe it has a tie to a particular political party or whatever. Even when I very first published my book and started talking about my own trafficking experience, I would
Yeah.
get so much hate from people who were like, if you're against trafficking, or if you're talking about, if you're against OUR, then you must be for the trafficking of kids. I'm like, I'm literally
I'm
saying
like,
the opposite.
whatever. Go ahead. Continue giving them tens of millions of dollars. Whatever. Yeah. It's like an inverted
Yeah.
planet. I'm telling you. I got so pissed off.
Yeah.
I never watched The Sound of Freedom. But I mean, I swear,
didn't
even
either.
like cousins of my bonus children, you know, they went and saw it, and I was like, basically supporting the people that murdered Tylee and JJ. I said it.
Yeah.
Allegedly. No.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm take it back. I'm not saying allegedly. These people
Yeah.
have blood on. These people have blood on their hands, and that's not my problem.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm their
Yeah.
problem, but that's not. You know, they shouldn't have done that, and they shouldn't continue to do that. And I think that's nasty and atrocious. And then they get
Yeah.
people to pay them, and then they're just these psychopaths. You know, it's a little freaky.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. I just want people to gain the skill of civil discourse.
Yep.
Let's
and discernment.
disagree.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, let's disagree, but
Mhm.
let's be respectful of each other's position. Let's realize that our different experiences give us different perspectives, and that's okay.
Yeah, it's totally okay. It's okay, because if it's not, then you're Lori and you're Alex and you're Janice and
Yes.
Barry and Summer
Yes,
and
exactly.
all the people, and you can't take, oh my God, I'm melting. All the neighbors can see Ruby Franke. I played her sentencing earlier, and she's just like, my poor, just how everybody views them. They're so scared,
Yeah.
of other, thank God. I wonder, they need a Wilson,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Not to bring that show up, but oh, and I love your old guys. Yeah, Tim and Randy, I think.
My old
Tim.
what?
Is it Randy? I know it's Randy, but
Oh, yeah.
Tim? Is it Tim and Randy? Don't come at me. Anyways,
Yeah.
no,
Tim.
I mean, I would love to. I want to make the connections because Randy's all in the Disney, okay? And I'm like, oh my God. You've got M. Russell Ballard, who did business, was really good buds with Art Linkletter. I think that's his name. Art Linkletter or Inkletter. Anyways, weird name. And some others like Studdard and Bob Hope. Okay, that's a big old. I don't know much about MK Ultra, but I was just like, oh, Bob Hope. Oh, okay. Whoa, that's some pretty. And so DJ is the guy for this. I'm telling you. I've got video of him, but it was me. It was backstage, and we were all like, whoa. And yeah, so it's not. I don't think it's salvageable. I'd rather just have. Now I know more. I don't know what he knows, but he has figured out from a long time ago, and he's turned it into Homeland Security all this time. The ritual murders of Stacy. Well, I'm just gonna say Stacy. I'm sorry, but her dates, okay, her birth dates, her death dates, they go in with this other bigger pattern, which I still don't understand because I'm not good with numbers, but hopefully I'll catch on to it this time more. And but his mind is fascinating with these, and the Gregorian calendar, oh my God, he's probably cussing me in the damn comments. Oh my God. The Hebrew calendar, and like they're all ritual murders. Tylee, JJ, Tammy, Chad, Alex, like I know Chad's not murdered, but Lori, and they just, and I'm just like, holy crap, that's a secret combination, all right. He said then Homeland Security agent named Noel Ingalls was fired by his Mormon boss. Wow, that's the one. Oh my God. No, okay. Noel Ingalls was on. He was the Homeland Security investigator on Brett Bluth's case, for sure. For David Hamblin.
Whose case?
David Hamblin, Brett Bluth.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yep.
So,
oh, jeez.
There's that. It's really messy.
I mean,
you're not going to get around
it. It is messy. It's complicated. There are so many people involved, and there are so many helpers who think that they're, they may have just been duped into helping, and they don't really know it because their eyes are closed.
Or they're just trusting what their neighbor says, just like the church. I've said this. It's like, take Lori's family, your family, Lori's family, and it's bigger. It's just a church, or it's all of it. It's and so they all help each other out, and then it's like they're the narcissistic parents or whatever. You have better terms for that, and then here you have the scapegoats. You have the golden children, not the child's.
Yep.
All those things, right? And then you have the flying monkeys.
You got
That's
flying
all
monkeys.
We're like, it's red, blue. And when you really learn that they're all they're both, they're both sides. They created that to create division for us to, be distracted and to divide us, because it does really well. Really well. I'm glad I was never political.
Yeah.
But kind of have to learn. I had to learn about it because of Sean Reyes, because of Tim, because of this side of it. I don't think I'm not a coincidence theorist. I'm not.
No, I'm not either. And this case has taught me that, and this case has also taught me, more than at any time in my whole life, to never just take something at face value, because you really just never know.
Just brush back the layer. Just, I mean, you're like, oh man, I got time for this. A lot of times.
Yeah.
But you at least know that you did it. You didn't just take someone's word for it, because if so, I would still be way back there going, they don't teach 144,000. No. They don't have a church of the firstborn, and they don't believe in none of that, because that's what I was told. Yeah. And then I was like, if you believe in the Bible has it. And so how do you not teach it? You know what I'm saying? Like, that was just one of those, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, I have to run.
Don't worry.
I'm so glad that we got to chat for a minute, and I'm going to be live a little later this afternoon with that FLDS case. And then, let's connect again, because there's a lot more to talk about.
Yeah, there is. Definitely. I'm telling you, girl, those things are a cover. And I just want to know more about these. Do they still do these Mormon conferences? I think that's a task I just appointed myself.
Yeah.
But I'll be there
that's a good
this
one.
afternoon. Me and all of my community here. We'll be there to watch you, and just let us know if there's anything that we can do to help.
Yeah,
Get these kids accounted for.
I appreciate so much, and I want to dig into some Tylee info with you a little bit, maybe privately first, and then I would love to have your community's help with some things.
Okay, we're here. We're there.
Love you, girl. Hey, Joe Schmo, good to see you.
All right. It's a tough road to hoe.
All right. Yeah, I gotta go. All right. Love you guys. Bye.
I love you too. Yeah. Oh yeah, they did give Lori till the 11th of July to respond to this last appeal of hers, which is Charles's death anniversary. Mm-hmm. Yep. Hey, Joe. Wait, I try to say it. Joseph Schmosif. I try to make it rhyme, and I'm not doing really well. I'm batting a 0. How you doing? Thank you for texting me back yesterday, Joe. Can we petition to play the song from Kresha's intro to play Laura Horsell over and over again? Oh, Mommy and the Zombie Killers? Yeah. No, because then she'd think it's about her. Oh my God. But yeah, we can. We'll do a whole loop. And then we could play Megan's song. We got the bitch. That's so good. Oh yeah. It was a good talk with you guys today. I really appreciate this so much. So very much. I needed this so bad. I don't have very good descriptive words, but you know, I needed this. And I need to just continue on. Okay. I'm telling myself this right now. Just continue on, Kresha K. Okay. I want to read some comments that I saw on Hidden True Crime whenever she was reading these yesterday. And so Kimberly Meeks had said, if only she had been slightly as concerned about the rights of her victims and their friends and families' lives, these arguments might not seem so hypocritical and pathetic as they do. Infuriating. So I thought it was worth sharing again. And Aaron Abou, I don't know how to say it. Abou. But I've seen her around. Interesting how all sovereign citizens bring up how unconstitutional things are for them, but don't acknowledge the constitutional rights of everyone else. I thought that was good. And that's what I think. But all right, I guess it's time for lunch. It's time for lunch. Hold on, I'm just trying to see. Video. So yeah, and I have a lot of videos that I have. Oh, here's one. The only thing that refers made me laugh. Joe will get it too. Let me make sure I'm sharing. No, I'm not. Well, dang, how'd that happen? Okay. I'm gonna have to move this banner. It's going across my damn head. Okay. So the only thing that refers to drugs is Melanie told me she suspected Brandon used illegal drugs as well.
Right.
She believed Brandon used ecstasy because it was a quote unquote gay drug. She's stupid. Yeah.
I know some people that might disagree with that it's a day drug, but
right.
I'm
gonna tell myself I'm not gay. That's all I'm saying. Okay. I've tripped my balls off before. I don't have balls, but I'm just saying, you know. Now I wanted to know what the song was all about. I just like that I made him cry.
So maybe the DEA officer will just be provided.
That was it. Anyways, I just thought that was fun.
To testify that he invested.
Hush, Joe. Anyways, that, and I've been transferring all of the Hamblin clips. Nobody else has published them, but I noticed that GoL started publishing them. But the sound is real grainy. I noticed people in his comments were complaining. So I'm trying to clean them up and make them less torturous. Kind of like the Melanie Boudreaux one with her kid, you know. They're just real. There's tons to get into, though. But everybody's been too damn scared to publish them. I mean, I can't even hear that. And I've been publishing the tapes. This is from the Hamblin case. I didn't buffer there.
I should film out correctly, so they legally wouldn't be able to release it.
I don't know. It's just a bunch. And these girls really have tried to hold their abusers accountable. Allegedly.
Now they're married for a long time. now she has a life that I don't want to just marry. I have my own life and my own problems.
Just trying to get her parents, who she alleges, who her and her sisters allege are ritual abusers. And yeah, these are people who believe in the light and dark. Okay. They actually would put red and black chips or dots by other people's names, you know, like that list Chad had. They would put red and or black dots representing if someone is dark or light. They believe they were somebody elite in past lives. Who does that sound like? They believe that they're elite bloodlines. And they believe also, allegedly, that sperm, the seed, is holy, basically. That's just to put it lightly. Yeah, so they got some real effed up beliefs, and it sounds just like our people, Chad and Lori. Okay, it just does to me, and trust me, just trust me on this. I can back it up, but just not today. There's a lot there, and then I'm gonna subject myself even more to being harassed. So there's that part too, and it's like, okay, when am I ready to jump in? You know. Whatever. F it. I told you I had more time than anything. So if y'all are down, I'm down. So just me. Oh, yeah. Do they relax you? You know, anyways, not your husbands, but you know what I'm saying? I hope. Like the silver or brass. Anyways, let's veer away from that. Hey, Shanty Bell. That's okay. All right. Well, I need to end it though, because I know Colby's live, I'm sure. Yeah, they're heavy. And I want to hear your cowboy song about alibis. I don't know what you're talking about. Alibis and lying eyes. I don't know. I don't sing. No, I don't. Look, I can sing, but it doesn't mean I should. Just like Lori can be her lawyer, but it doesn't mean that she should, right? Oh, he did take off today? I don't blame him. You should be just silly me. You are. Yes. Yeah, I don't think there is a bottom. You know? I love you too, Carla. Oh, they call me a god. That's YouTube. That is straight up a YouTube song. Hold on, I'll find it. I think. Let's see. I got a God complex. That's the name of it. Let's see if it pulls anything up, please. It pulls up the God makers. Jeffrey Lundgren. What old chud? The God makers. Let's see. Oh, okay, come on. That's it. Well, I typed in oh Lord. Okay. Now you see all my work, and it's doubled. And she's the Lord's favorite. Okay. Whatever you say, Lori. Definitely chained to the Daybell murders. There's no way, no reason that Chad Daybell, a cheap ass, okay, would need to sponsor, not just like Chad fat ass. He wasn't going to go run in the race. No. And we always thought that Tammy was running in the race, but we found out the truth, you know, that she worked as a volunteer at the race, but it was the same weekend that Tylee was murdered. That floored me. And it floors me that nobody else is talking about it. Yeah. Standard issue. He's just a standard issue. He's just a one in a billion others. Because this one too. Ballard's Man of God image. Yep. They're all about rebranding anyway. So look, that's what I imagine him looking like getting into his portal. Or, you know what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And then you follow the profit. Follow the money. Okay. Let's see. I'm looking for a God complex. Damn it. Here you go. Like-minded people spreading greater light and knowledge at a Mormon temple near you. Oh, Moroni, huh? I get bored, as you can see. Having a killer time. Oh, this we can reuse. Having a killer time at the sentencing of Lori Daybell. Again. All right. And it's all about this, the covenant. Okay. It's all about this book. Well, not this book, but this book details and has some blueprints in it if you know what I'm saying. I like how Megan described it the other day. She had described it more as a civil war they're trying to cause. And I'm like, okay, yeah, we'll go for that. Instead of the NWO. Sounds better. The covenant, one nation under God. God is the author of the American story. I mean, M. Russell Ballard, it was the American covenant, but it was all, it had a lot of LDS rhetoric in it. And so the story goes that M. Russell Ballard, the president prophet of the, quorum of the 12 apostles, he was the third in line. And a relative of Joseph Smith and, Hiram Smith, Joseph's brother. And how they believe that, I mean, this is just lore, I'll just say, but how it's been said that the M. Russell Ballard and people believe that, Joseph Smith is in the same lineage as hold your Bible. Everybody hold your pearls in your Bible. That he, they're from the same lineage as Jesus Christ. So that also goes into this David Hamblin stuff too, genealogy. Anyways, so yeah. But yeah, M. Russell Ballard allegedly took out all of the Mormon type stuff in the American Covenant, Tim's book in 2014, and replaced it to appeal to a wider audience, a wider Christian audience, for more converts, right? And then I remember hearing Chad Daybell's on Hidden True Crime. They have that speech that he did the day that Lori met Chad, and the rest was written in the Book of the Dead, basically. The rest was history, because Chad was talking to, I want to say Mike. They were just chitter chattering. You can pick up people chitter chattering, like just conversing during that speech. And at the very end of it, I think he says, like, Chad's like, oh no, we need to appeal to a wider audience, and I'm just like, oh, of course you do, proselytize and monetize and traumatize. But anyways, allegedly. Okay, so it says her past and her future sustainability has and always will be predicated upon our devotion to him. Now, who's him, Tim? Tim Ballard's 10 years of research probes deeply into our nation's rich history and its sacred place in biblical prophecy. Quote, I've been looking for a way, this is from Glenn Beck, I've been looking for a way to articulate this message for years. He bumps his gums all the time. I don't know how he didn't articulate it. Tim Ballard finally did it. Everybody needs to read this book. It is the key to restoring America. Oh, Beck. And then see the new movie. Don't go see it, please. It's free on YouTube now. Anyways, it says, quote, the covenant not only shows the unprecedented blessings America has received as a result of obedience to God, but also what every citizen today can do to honor our national covenant with God and thus ensure his continued blessings. That's from another piece of shit, David Barton. best-selling author, and founder of Wall Builders, that he is. And he's also a partner in the Greater Nazarene Fund with, Timmy here, Timmy, and Glenn Beck. And it's also to help. It's been a while since I looked at it. Israeli or Christians who are being persecuted, blah, 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 blah. It's just another freaking laundry bill. Okay. In my opinion, Timothy Ballard received an MA. I don't know. You might want to go ask Lynn Packer, because I don't know. Summa cum laude in international politics from the Monterey Institute of International Studies. Interesting, right? Didn't he just get like popped for espionage in Argentina? He has worked for the CIA, but we don't know what he could have been the gopher. And is a special agent for DHS, and is the founder of Operation Underground Railroad, which has not rescued one child that we have a receipt of. Which rescues children from child trafficking. He was recently named a Social Entrepreneur of the Year by Ernst & Young. Tim and his wife, Catherine, have 9 children. 2 they adopted, and he uses them as arm props, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, though. Here we go.
In an article I published in 2017, I created a flow chart to show how the nonprofit OUR worked with the for-profit venture, the Abolitionists LLC. Tim Ballard would control both organizations. OUR would provide what would be referred to as the sizzle video.
They claim that they don't believe the same things they believe. So
of operatives helping rescue child sex slaves.
So therefore, they do not acknowledge any of the victims, except for separately, I guess within families. I don't really know. The church never spoke out about the kids even being missing. While they were missing, they never offered to use their platform, to spread the message, about them being missing. Instead, they sent letters to the patriarchs of Chad's ward, where the kids would eventually be found. And they, reminded them of a 2010 policy that the church had about not involving yourself with a criminal investigation or potential criminal, whatever it says. I know we have the letters. You can also look at Fox 13 News. He did a report on it. Adam Herbetz. It's pretty enraging. And but then, knowing what I know now, I'm like, of course. So no, they don't really acknowledge Chad and Lori unless it's to distance themselves, and or the church. Okay. It's usually not even to distance themselves. It's like they take and I'm not trying to be ugly. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's like they take the role of the the flying monkeys. Okay. Where people are just flying around and they're just like, I am not going to sit here and vouch and say that Lori and Chad did not seal inside of the temple. For all I know, evidence shows, Detective Hart showed it. And so did agent, FBI agents, both of them, Hart and Nicole Heidemann, both testified and got their records. Okay. They got the records from the LDS church and said that, Lori and Chad were in the temple or at the temple. They swiped into the temple November 16, 2018. Okay. Who am I? I mean, that's when they got sealed. So I did not want to go to their wedding. Okay. First off. So it's like, I am not going to sit here and say that they went in a corner, they went and hid somewhere. I mean, I've used to say that too, because that's what everybody else said. And I don't know. How do I know? But I know better now. Like, I know that nothing's impossible. And it depends on who you hang with, you know? So it's like, I'm not going to vouch. I'm going to make the church speak out on it. I'm not going to listen to everybody talking about it. Everybody's has, you know, their own opinion. They're entitled to it. Okay, I'll listen. All right, cool. You know, but it's like, evidence shows, it points to them in the temple, and Melanie Gibb put them in the temple. Okay. And then she's like, but not the initiation room. Not the initiation room. You know? Yeah. So I'm just like, whatever y'all got to do in the mental gymnastics of, I don't know. To me, it's less mental gymnastics to just be real with myself and say, okay, that's probably right. You know, I don't have to sit there and figure out all the the bureaucratic stuff and the politics. I don't have to do all that. But, you know, thank you for your question, by the way. Oh, you scared? Ask if they know about Tylee and JJ. I'll send you some bracelets and you can hand them out. Yeah, email me email me at Kresha. Hold on, I have it right here. I've been on for 3 hours. Let's see, and I love every minute of it. Where's my here? My email is kresha0123@gmail.com. Just send me your address or wherever you want me to send it, and I'll send you some bracelets. And then that's a good conversation starter. And you can tell them all about Tylee and JJ. They're kids, you know. You can't too much argue with that. But I would love to. Plus, we have tons of bracelets. I still have a ton of bracelets too. So, but anyways, I am still here. We were waiting on you, Divergent. Oh, and a lab draw, damn. As long as you're not Tammy, lay chick, you know, and Lori's looking for you. No, I'm kidding. You know how Lori, she's a mockingbird too, because I remember like noticing this during trials, but I noticed how Lindsay Blake, she always came up with some creative ways to, you know, it's not for the truth of the matter, it's for the effect on the listener. And I'm like, oh, isn't that just jazzy, you know? She spiced it up just enough, and he's like, overruled. You know, I mean, she got her points in. Hey, but Lori, you know, the evidence will show. When I was watching with Colby the other day, oh, Janelle, when I was watching with him, you know, and the evidence will show. That's what Jim Archibald said. And I was like, oh, Lord, well, we know Laura got that. Okay, the evidence will show. And then, Your Honor, it's not for the truth of the matter. It's for the effect on the listener. Ooh, a volunteer cuddler who? What? Who is? Are you making a statement, or are you offering, or are you questioning one Zulema Pastinez? I'm just asking. Yeah, she could learn script lines. Oh, you have? Okay, I've sucked at looking at my email, especially lately because I've been in the pits, but I will look. Okay, Facebook. I definitely don't see it in Facebook. I'm horrible. I can't, like, I don't know what I do at my time, y'all. That's bad, huh? Hopefully I'll be able to straighten that up with counseling, you know. I've noticed that myself. Hey, Joe, girdle up your loins. Remember that? Oh my Lord, right. Yeah, because you can't unhear it. You can't unding that bell, you know? I'm just saying. I'm so sorry, Cheryl and Amanda. That means it's still there. Is it under? Oh, well, I don't want to ask you that. I'll look. I'll see it. I'll see it. Yeah. Nope. Girdle up your damn loins. Salty sleuth. Get your damn girdles here. Y'all, okay, I'm about to tell myself, and then I'm going to go because I need to shut up. But, okay, so, and I mean, I was in my late 20s for sure. Okay. I have my moments. I have my little blonde moments where I'm like, what? Well, so my mom, she bought me oh, hell, what's it called? Spanx. Well, so we're in Vegas, I think that's where we were, because I wouldn't fly anywhere. And then finally, I was like, all right. I wouldn't get on a plane because my uncle died in a plane crash in 2001. Him and 6 other souls, 6 or 7. That's bad. It was in 2001. And they crashed into a house in Joplin, Missouri, but no one was killed in the house, but everyone on board was killed. And I think that might have been an inside job too. So, anyways, conspiracy, right? Okay, so yeah, my mom got me Spanx, and so I think we were somewhere out. Okay, let me just go there. And I'm like, I think we were in bathroom stalls next to each other, and I was like, Mom, y'all gonna laugh. I'm like, these have a hole in it. She's like, well, no shit, girly. And I'm like, what? Because they're so hard to get on. Okay. You got to peel them off. And then, so the hole is there for, I guess, just, so you got to do all that. I just don't get it. Girdle up your damn Spanx and your loins. Good. I hope it's not actual girdles, please. I'll do the girdles. You do the gird. How about that? I don't fly. I know. You know what birds don't fly either? Jailbirds. Ask Lori. Oh, yeah, the Spanx. Got me. Okay, I'm glad you get a laugh. But there's a built-in hole. And I was like, no, these are expensive, like, Mom, no, the Spanx you got me have a hole in the crotch, and she's like, oh, Lord. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I asked her one time too, because they own that transportation company. And anyways, I've always just, Mom, I forget where we were. We were on the interstate somewhere, I-10, I guess, somewhere. And, I'm like, Mom, every town has like a frontage road. And she's like, oh my God. But that's okay, because Jason had to tell her that the gaslight, I mean, she had a transportation company and a fleet and all buses and all kinds of freaking vehicles, okay, out the yang. And he's like, whatever side the gas, when you're looking at your odometer, whatever side the gas light, it'll point, and that's the side that your gas tank is on. That's where you're going to go put the gas in. I worked with a lady in Houston, an interior decorator, who did not know how to pump gas, but she had an iPhone and I didn't know how to answer it. I had a BlackBerry, whatever. Anyway, so yeah. Oh yeah. I'm like, don't pay them people to pump your gas. Just pull up right there. Got you, girl. I'll pump your damn gas. And she's like, oh no, my phone's ringing, answer it. And I'm like, what the hell do you do with this thing? Country come to town, No, don't. No, that's the limit of damn Pastina is. Oh, that's so sweet. You're a NICU nurse. JJ was in NICU. Thank you for your service. I appreciate you. We need a lot of people like you. For real. That's tough to see. Ooh. But we love you. All right, y'all. I just had to show you that too. See, we're not. What does VIP mean? Just stupid things, Blueberry, shut up, little brains. Little brains. Librarians, little brands. How do you not know how to pump gas? I know. Like, I ain't paying nobody. Shit's expensive enough. That is. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, wow. Look, my eyes I was like, yeah. Especially, like, I'm old enough to be a grandma, y'all. I'm gonna be a gangster grandma, but I'm gonna love them babies. Yeah. No, she wasn't holding babies. Oh, we need to do a whole show just on. Do we? I don't know. I'm kind of cringing. When I looked up the articles and looked at the damn news stories, I was like, oh, I couldn't wash my eyeballs out. So, yeah, thank you, Divergent. My anecdotes, if you want to call them that. Oh my gosh. You know, just as long as we have 2 nickels to rub together, right? That's all that matters. Oh, shit. No. No. Okay, tomorrow's Hooker's birthday, though. Happy birthday to you, Lori. 6/27, whatever damn year. What the hell? Oh, that's sweet, Divergent. Not all babies have a Kay and Larry in their lives, unfortunately. They would appreciate that. At some stage, you can't pump your own gas? Oh, hell no. Don't tell me I can't, because then I'm like, oh, why? You know, it better be, why? Now, I remember when I had a diesel. I had a Volkswagen diesel. That was a little weird, but the nozzle, you know what I mean? Like the nozzle won't fit in one of them. I forget. It's been a while. I've slept since then, so 1970 damn 3. I think it's let me go look. I'm gonna type into the birthday portal. Let's see. I'm on the wiki page. Wiki. Okay, Chad. Of course. Ladies first. Chad's first. June. Oh, damn. It is her damn birthday. God dang. I owe you $5. No, I didn't bet. June 26, 1973. Well, thank you for correcting me for sure. And, oh, I didn't do it right. There it is. Lori Noreen. She sounds like a damn, hold on. She sounds like an attorney's office, like a bunch of them. So you have, like, we have one here. It's called Cox, Vallow, Cook, Reed, and Welch. I don't know why I remember it. But hers is Cox, Yanez, LaJoya, Ryan, Vallow, Daybell. Did I get them all? You have 8 grandbabies? Shut babies. Oh, I got the OMVs for some babies. I'll go hold some babies. Yeah, I couldn't drive until I could change a whole damn tire. And then thank God, because I would go jump the railroad tracks every weekend. And my dad would be like, Kresha. And I'd be like, Dad, I don't know why it's flat. We had a lot of fun though. He knows. I'm pretty sure he knew, I hope. If not, love you, Dad. That's not Larry, but my real dad. Anyways, yeah, June 26, 1973. Interesting, right? Oh, and not just one, but two serial killers. One, you know what? One baby pusher outer. That's all I'm saying. So what was I about to look up? Hold on. I forgot. Shit. I'm hoping it would come back to me, but it did not. Let's see. I feel like I'm just wasting y'all's damn time. But thank you. It's just idle time. Oh, wow. Yeah. Here, y'all can listen to this while I find it.
Untangling the Web, a personal exploration of faith, tragedy, and controversy. Life has a way of weaving together threads of faith, destiny, and unforeseen tragedy in ways we could never anticipate. This series emerges from the depths of personal loss and relentless pursuit of understanding. A journey that begins with the harrowing events involving my former aunt, Lori Vallow Daybell, and her husband, Chad Daybell. Their actions led to the unimaginable loss of my uncle Charles, my nephew JJ Vallow, and my step-cousin Tylee Ryan. As I grapple with this profound grief, I am compelled to delve into the complex relationships and beliefs that may have influenced these tragic events. At the heart of this exploration is Julie Rowe, a former member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Julie's relationship with Chad Daybell is a focal point as they shared and propagated apocalyptic visions and unconventional spiritual beliefs. Their connection opens a window into a subculture within the LDS community where prophecy and personal revelation intersect, sometimes blurring the lines between Orthodox faith and individual interpretation. Intriguingly, Julie and Chad's spiritual journey crossed paths with Tom Harrison, reputedly the inspiration behind the book Visions of Glory. Reports suggest that they frequently met with Tom in his Salt Lake City office, where they engaged in practices like portaling or remote viewing, methods they believed allowed them to traverse spiritual realms and receive divine insights. These sessions underscore a shared quest for deeper spiritual experiences, albeit through unconventional means. Another figure entwined in this narrative is Ken Krogh. Alongside Tom Harrison, Ken is said to have participated in offering LDS priesthood blessings that carried extraordinary proclamations. Among these was the assertion that certain individuals, Tim Ballard, were destined for remarkable futures, including potential roles as the future president of the United States and the future prophet of the LDS Church. Such announcements highlight a pattern,
and it also shows a mixture of church and state,
of grandiose prophecies that fueled the ambitions and actions of those involved. Tim Ballard, founder of Operation Underground Railroad, OUR, and the inspiration behind the 2023 film The Sound of Freedom, also intersects with this story. Recognized globally for his mission to combat human trafficking, Tim has recently faced scrutiny over allegations of controversial practices within his organization, notably the use of the tactic referred to as the couples ruse, a method involving operatives posing as couples to infiltrate trafficking rings. While intended as a means to an end in rescue missions, this approach has sparked a debate over ethical boundaries and personal conduct, not to mention possible criminal repercussions. Moreover, Tim Ballard has been associated with claims that high-ranking LDS leaders, such as M. Russell Ballard, sanctioned certain methods to further both rescue efforts and church outreach. These assertions have ignited discussions within the LDS community about the appropriateness of intertwining church authority with independent.
I need to correct that because it's made more conversation outside of the church. You know, that was wrong on my part.
Independent organizational strategies. Throughout this series, we will delve into the interconnected lives of these individuals, seeking to understand how fervent beliefs and personal convictions can lead to actions with far-reaching and sometimes devastating and deadly consequences. We'll examine the allure of prophetic destiny, the risks of unorthodox spiritual practices, and the profound impact these have on individuals and communities. This exploration is deeply personal, a journey to make sense of tragedy by shedding light on the shadows that surround it. By unraveling these complex relationships and scrutinizing the beliefs that influence them, I hope to find understanding and perhaps a measure of closure. I invite you to join me in this candid and courageous quest for the truth as we navigate the delicate intersections of faith, influence, and responsibility. Please note, the content of this series deals with sensitive and complex issues, including allegations and personal beliefs. All information presented is based on available reports and personal experiences up to October 2023. Readers are encouraged to approach the material with an open mind and to consider multiple perspectives when reflecting on these events.
Oh, yeah. That's my new liker. Coming at you, Lori. Got to do it. Okay, on a better note. So, I haven't even listened to this. I hope it's okay. This is Mom and my brother. This is JJ's dad. And Charles's nephew, Tylee's step-cousin, is my brother.
Sorry. Talk. What y'all want to talk about? Okay.
Oh, you're going to video it.
How are you doing, man? I'm doing better than I was when I got here. Kate, are you happy to see Todd?
I am happy to see Todd.
Doesn't he look amazing?
Absolutely. He sounds good too.
Well, look at him.
Great, Todd. I'm so proud of him. Jason has had some serious health issues, and I want you to pray for him. We're definitely going to do that. Okay, good. Thank you, Todd. And I know Kresha missed you. And I know that they want to say they're proud of you like we are. I'm just so happy to see you the way you are right now. And also, Todd is cutting grass and he's working, and he's getting healthy again.
Notice he loves the camera.
No, don't.
He's tired already because he hadn't worked in a couple of years. And,
he worked out though when he was in jail.
Difference working out and working out in that heat. But we want to say that we're so proud of Todd. Love y'all. And he's doing a great job. And we can't wait for him to be home.
In God's time.
And be on his own. And be clean. Be healthy. Okay, tell him bye.
Bye.
Can you tell I was the talker in the family? Okay, yeah. I'm the talker in the family. Todd, he's a man of not many words. Okay. Yeah. Yay, Todd, huh? Yeah. Oh my God. Yep. I'm proud. I'm so proud. Okay, yeah, I gotta go soak that all in. Not soak, I'm gonna go absorb that. Damn Mormons. Anyways, thank y'all for sharing this with me. Thank you for being here. Just thank you for being you. Thank you for love for my brother, my whole family. You know, thank you. Thank you to the NICU nurses and the police that aren't crooked. I told y'all my worldview is pretty squashed. So, but there are good people. There are good men and women. There are good. You're here. So that's how we know. That's how we know. Yeah, you can, huh? Todd's looking like my. I have a lot of dads. Okay, I sound like a Jamaican, but with dads. I'm like my dad. But I just have different dads for different seasons in my life. And he looks like his dad, the one that raised me, who died in 2021. But anyways, I love you, just me. Why did that post 2 times? Huh? Oh, you're okay. Yeah, love to you guys too. Cherry Pie, I love you. I'm so glad you're here. I've been thinking about you. I hope you've been okay. I've not been doing, I don't know. I've just been tripping. Hopefully, maybe I'm missing I'm probably missing some hormones. I got to go find them. So anyways, but this is Uncle Charles's first love. She came on, you know her as Allison. So I love you, Allison. And love always wins, right? Right. And yeah, I'll see you next Tuesday. I'll see you next Tuesday. Don't even check in. Just know I'll be there, okay? So write it in pen. And we'll be there tonight to watch you and Tom. We got to go watch Megan in a little while. Break down the FLDS case, okay? We got to get our getters on, okay? So it's a process. Thank you. I'm trying. All right, guys. And I'll check the emails too, and I'll start mailing some things out, some bracelets, okay? Some conversation starters for some people. I hope that works. Let me know if it works. But anyways, love always wins. Justice for Tylee, Charles, Tammy, JJ, and Joe, and Brandon. And we got the bitch. We're gonna continue getting the bitch. Hey girl.